Just in time to ruin my bit. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Snatchback. We are live here today on the 3rd of March. I'm Innes. I'm joined by Nathan, Folger, and apparently Anthony, who is here unbidden, having told us that he was probably not here, is actually here.
And on time.
So that one commenter that's like, whenever Anthony's not here, you should be asking, where is Anthony? We'll be very happy. We're here today to talk about all things Warhammer. We've got some events to break down. We've got some stats to chat about. These two guys went to a tournament that was kind of important. It's probably worth chatting about. But before we get into all of that, Nathan, you have an apology to make.
Yes, I forgot all about my poor Chris Pie 5 folks at the end of last episode. So we're going to give you 2 sets of thank yous. One at the middle plugs so that people don't have to listen to me just list off names at the beginning. And then again at the end plugs just to torture Innes. So if you have the time and brain space and are available to edit it between those 2 points, you'll get 2 different shout outs this episode.
You can tell a story in a single episode.
You could.
If you want.
Mm-hmm. With a middle and an end, but no beginning.
We're going to start off with the easy bit. We are joined by the one, the only, the esteemed Folger Pyles this week for a lovely, lovely episode. Folger, why don't you tell us a little bit about who you are and why anyone should care about what you have to say? Because we all care what you have to say, but you need to tell them.
I got to tell the mass at large. So, hello, I am Folger. As you can see right there, I am other side over here. Wherever. I am a Crayola enthusiast. I have been for about 2 years now, which means I play Custodes. I have won some amount of Warhammer tournaments and lost a lot more than I've won, but we keep losing close to the end. So, hoorah. I've been on Team USA for 2 years now, and I've won Worlds before. There you go. That's me.
Wahoo. I mean, it's a pretty good resume, Folger. I don't know what more people can want from you. Folger can be mostly found taking long walks on the beach, playing Custodes, and playing Eldar. Those are the 2 things. Those are the 2 other things that Folger does, along with long walks at the beach.
Wants to play Eldar, forced to play Custodes.
Yeah, it's like the girl tells you not to worry about.
Yeah.
It's basically that. Yeah. I want to be an Eldar player who's like, oh, I'm so smart and big brain, but you know.
Can only play them when it's fire and fade back into transport, take no damage, do it again.
Yeah, dude, it's exactly. I get to skill express all over people, right? Like that's the skill expression. Activated my stratagem. -1 CP, +2 diff. Hoorah.
All right. Nathan, why don't you start us off with
Yeah, exactly. That.
Sorry. I'm doing fine. My work is a bit of a cluster because they turned on our ID pass scanners for our doors that they installed 5 years ago and just never turned on until now. So like a good 30 to 40% of the scientists don't have access to labs, which is kind of fun.
Isn't that the whole thing?
Yeah, that's the whole thing. They installed them and I saw them the first day and my boss was like, don't worry about that. They've never turned those on. They installed them and forgot about them. And I was like, cool. That's great. And then one day randomly at 11 a.m. on a work day, they were like, all of them are on now with no email or announcement whatsoever, which is typical.
Was that mildly nerve-wracking?
Preparing.
I did definitely walk out the door to go get water and then come back and then tried to open my door and was like, that's weird. This door has never been locked before.
I feel like I would have a lot of questions if I was suddenly mag-locked into a place, you know?
You can get out, you just can't get in.
Okay.
Yeah. But my house keys, my computer, my backpack, all of my various things were inside the lab. So I was trapped for all eternity. Other than that, things were fine. That's pretty typical academic or hospital stuff, though, just so people understand. Those are 2 things that happen very often in both those environments, is something happening with no announcement and it making no sense to all the people who are there. And
that seems bad.
Chaos.
I feel like of all the fields that I would want random shit to happen in, those 2 are like way at the bottom.
Yep. Some other time I'll talk more at length about how we had to convince a hospital that their research center needed their own servers that we could access remotely. But I'll talk about that some other day.
Okay.
The month-long fight to get that set up with the hospital IT department.
Well, at least you won.
Hell yeah.
Eventually.
All right. I'm going to do mine next because Anthony's been off for a couple of weeks, and we'll save his big one at the end. I did absolutely sweet F all this week. It's been great. I read some books. It's been fantastic. I took a month to go in London, and then a weekend to do Manchester. And this weekend, I went to an outdoor sculpture gallery with my sister on Saturday, and then stayed in bed all day on Sunday. It's been fantastic.
Nice.
Missed it so much. It's my bed. It's my one. There, not Brian's sofa. Look, the lighting is worse, but the sleep is much better. Yeah, I have a practice day on Saturday. We did a couple scrims, Dawson about on TDS, but nothing too fancy.
Dude, it's the man.
Oh yes, another cat. I'm already feeling my allergies playing up.
What, you want to introduce the hero that is
Sure.
the dim-witted genius?
So this is my child. He has 2 brain cells that fight for 3rd place. His name is Bugs. There he is.
When Folger is playing Custodes, that's who's playing.
Yes. All right, you can go now. You've said hi. We'll get a little wave in there. Hello.
Yeah. Oh, he really just lets you do whatever, dude. He's just all right.
You, the returning conquering hero, tell us a little bit about how your last couple of weeks has been, my friend.
My last couple of weeks have been very interesting. So we took Team America out to Pyra. We did not fuck about this time. There was, we've had a very interesting relationship with Pyra, us the American team. The first year that we went, we took, a bit of a beater team, and it went really well, and we won. Felt good, got a couple draws, still won. Hell yeah, go us. The next year, we went with a much lighter returning starter to prospect ratio. That meant that in 2 of the rounds, we got our ass blown out the front of our forehead. And then in the last round, we scraped it over the line with a draw, which was good enough to not go totally negative. And then this year, on the back of a leadership decision to treat the year as a season of 3 events, which are Pyra Cup, Home Nations, and WTC, rather than be really stressed for 12 months about mostly 4 rounds, 5 really, but 4 for the most part. We're going to just treat all of them with not the same level of prep, but we're going to fucking try and win all of them. So we did that. We took 4 returning starters. We took 4 of our academy guys. And we had a pretty, lengthy process in the lead up. We've been doing a ton of scrims, a lot of internal practicing, to kind of vet our squad for this, to make sure everybody was in a good spot, ready to go, well prepped and feeling good going into the event. And on the back of that, we fucking smashed it. We won every round with at least 100. We won every round, which was, step 1. And then we won the event. It was, I think we had 2 of the top 3 scorers or something to that effect. Literally 1 and 2 if I'm not wrong. So yeah, it went quite well, I would say. As an individual, outside of getting paired into a mirror that made me so depressed I got sick the following morning. I'm not exaggerating. I spent most of Sunday just on the ground. Somewhere there's a picture of me laying on the floor while we pair France, and Folger just looking at me like, is he gonna be all right?
At his strongest.
That is
an unfair day 2 for your opponents.
As I laid down for the pairings against Poland, Pumbaa went, oh no, he's at full power. Because Pumbaa knows. Pumbaa's seen this enough times to know that apparently it's playing possum. So yeah, we did really, really well. Super proud of our whole team. Everyone performed really well. They filled their roles. Everyone did their job. We didn't fall into the Team USA trap of everyone must play an army with many good matchups that we delicately build a house of cards, and the minute one pairing goes sideways, the whole thing collapses. We brought blunters this time. We took people whose job is to attack the guns, and we took the guns ourselves. We didn't galaxy brain shit. We put the guns on the lights, and we put the gunch on the melee boards, and we got in there and showed them what's up. Yeah, we didn't take the world's most interesting comp, I would say. There was some disagreement about how to build Necrons at this event. I was top scorer, so I'm going to go ahead and say that everyone else is bad at it. Gitto sucks at Necrons. Arnaud, what do you even know about Necrons, dude? I'm clearly the one true Necrons main. Except the guy that I played, who just absolutely domed me in the mirror. I lost. I never would have bet in 1,000 years that this happened, but I lost a 1v3 with my Satans. His Nightbringer just decided he was built different and that mine were built out of trash. And he just sent one by one them into the Shadow Realm by himself. Notably, they all attacked him at the same time and lost. So,
God damn it. Wow.
You know.
Was one of his Nightbringer going in as well, or was it?
Dude, okay. I can explain the whole thing now, or I can explain it later. Whatever.
Later. Let's leave people on the hook of Anthony lost a 1v3, and that's funny enough.
If you want to do the hook, the real hook, it was a 1v4 and included the Silent King.
It's fucking embarrassing.
Sometimes you get fucked, dude. It is what it is. That game was still an 8, by the way. An interesting time in Warhammer we find ourselves. But yeah. Just a general congratulations to the rest of our team for doing a really good job. They showed up. They tried real hard. We won the event as a result. Great work, everybody. I told them this all already, but they should be proud of themselves, including our crayon munching enthusiast over here. We brought edible crayons to the event and gave them to our opponents, which backfired horribly in round 1 as the first guy that I played bit into the crayon and broke his tooth.
Did he really?
Yeah, the taffy defeated Mr. Damien, and I felt terrible about it for the rest of the event and didn't give them to anyone else except our team after that point. Because apparently European teeth are too fragile for American taffy. Why would you give
it to the Americans? The Europeans have all got free dental.
But our teeth are strong enough, refined.
We put fluoride in our water, apparently.
Yeah, forged in the flames of the American diet. Our teeth can handle the taffy. So
electric pressure of soda and fast food has created the strongest of teeth.
That's right. Yeah, naturally. I think that's how that works. It's a natural selection system, right? I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, so that was that, and then we got soft trapped in Warsaw for a couple of days. So, which I'll explain honestly later. We're doing the how are we doing part. So that's what I've been up to. And then my job got turbo busy over the last couple of days. So it's been a real interesting time to be Anthony. Folger, how are you doing, bro?
Well, to follow that up, good. I'm awake again. So that's a good start. I also got soft trapped in Poland for a couple days. So then I had 7 days of work to put into 3 days when I got back, which was super cool. So, I worked 3 14s and then here we are.
Nice. Strong.
For 18 hours on that Sunday. It was much needed. I went to Pyra. Well, that was super cool. First time I've ever been. Very unique event, and the vibes were awesome. Got to hang out with a bunch of Europeans and then dunk on said Europeans. So that's a win. I got to finally avenge our Poland A and France misery that Team USA tends to have historically.
Yes, notably that was the first time we had ever beaten either of those teams. I have beaten Poland A a couple of times, but I did it as stat check by stealing their leadership away from them.
Much easier.
I was never successful in my endeavors as Team America. We were 2 draws and 2 losses into those lads.
Yeah, not great. So I did that, and then I came home from there, and my concept of time is off, but I think that this is the week after that. So here I am.
Oh God, it is. Yeah, we were still in Poland this time last week, dude.
It's that whole time there feels just it's like COVID time, if that makes sense. Where it happened, you were present while it happened, but you can't really conceptualize it. But that's how I've been. There you go.
Fantastic. Well, I'm glad you guys are back safe and sound. And I'm glad you guys had a stunning success at Pyra. It was genuinely incredible. As we said, Folger, what did you score? A 118 or something ridiculous like that?
No, it was only 5 rounds. I got I think I
dropped
dropped
a
96, 93,
93 or 94 or something. I had 115 and then a bunch of 20s and a couple 19s.
Sure.
So I think 93, 94.
93.
93. Yeah.
Really just slacking.
I know, dropping just.
But 1 point more than Nemo, notably.
That's what matters.
That's what matters.
How upset was Nemo when he got that 15?
Not at all. He was thrilled.
Dude,
that was Albin's first loss in WTC format, bro.
Yeah, dude, we were stoked about that, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect. All right. We are going to go into the stats, and then we'll do a bit of a rundown about Pyra and how it was and the way that you guys approach things and some of your interesting highlights, both on the personal and gameplay side. But before we do that, we have a couple super chats. Thank you to Zipter for the 20 Danish kroner for wait, I'm live. Hi, 40k moms and dads. I'm choosing to believe that Anthony is 40k mom in this situation.
Sure.
And then Ben J 40k sends $2 as payment for Anthony list writing services. Stealing lists is the way to do it, guys. I don't know when anybody bothers writing their own.
Bro took down a major with 1 unit swap.
I hear that's the way to do it, to be fair. That's how I did Emil's list.
Yep. A little bit of change, dude. Just a little bit.
A little bit to make it your own, right? A little bit of spice.
Yeah.
All right, Nathan, take us away. How has the last week of Warhammer been? Make us all depressed.
Here we go, baby.
This is the second most boring talking about stats in 40k has been since we first started doing stats when Tau and Custodes got released in 9th edition.
This is a bad time.
This is when I was writing about stats. This was before Fight Club and before Stat Check. I would write every week and be like, I guess there are things happening. Here are the lists. They're all the same. And the only nicer part about this is that all of the lists, I guess, Necrons are winning events with are slightly different. So I guess is a thing that happens. So that's cool. But it's really just me talking about Necrons every week and being sad the whole time. So I'm going to just start with that because of the number one faction by win rate for the week. So it's really easy to start with the most depressing bit of it.
Oh,
no. How about attachment stuff at the end?
There we go.
I pulled out Gene Stealer, Cult, and Tau Empire numbers as well, so we can talk about those in a second because they're kind of fun. Oh shit, did I freeze?
You're back.
It's the Necron Union trying to stop me from talking about Necrons.
It's that one guy that complains about us being doomers in the comments every week, despite the game being in a terrible state.
The only person rooting against Necrons more at every table I was at for all of Pyra than my opponent was me.
All right. Well, here you go. Necrons last week had 72 players, which made up 8.2% of the meta. Notably, only less than Space Marines. Space Marines had 10.6.
8 is a lot, dude. That's a big portion for people to just be like...
It's 1 in 12 assholes.
Yeah.
It is. So 8%, 60.1% win rate. Consistently,
that's
around
tough,
60, just around there, just consistently week to week, basically at 60%. They won 4 events. There were notably 16 events this weekend, so they won 25% of events. And if you looked at teams, they were also in multiple number 1 team comps over the weekend. So there you go. They had 9 top 4s, 19 top 10s, and a 1.7 over rep, which is a crazy number to have when you already make up 25% of event wins and 8% of the meta.
Yeah.
Just wild numbers.
So a detachment agnostic 60% is nuts.
Yes. We'll talk about detachment stats in a second. Things don't get crazy in it, but they're pretty 5%. Bad. Yeah. Gene Stealer Colts are in second place. There were 16 of them, which is a lot. That's almost 2%. 59.8% win rate.
That's a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot too. 4 top 4s, so they have 5 top 10s. 3.42 overrep because of the small participation numbers relative to the rest of the meta. That's where you get into some weird hyperinflation of the overrep stat, is when you get those low representation factions kind of in there.
Is GSA just good?
GSA might still just be
Biosanctic this weekend.
That could be.
That means basically anyone can go 401 with Biosanctic.
It's true.
Not a melee army.
Yeah. He lost the finals 11-9 to Taken Hold because his opponent was just playing Black Templars and was on all the objectives.
Honestly, the Black Templar winner in the
good effort, Nos. Yeah. Good try.
Good job. Next up is Sisters of Battle, who had the same number of players as Gene Stealer Cult, same meta percentage at 1.8%. They won 58.3% of their games. They had no event wins, no top 4s, and 5 top 10s. So they have a 0 for overrep because they just couldn't quite get to podium or within striking distance of the event, but are still doing real good relative to win rate. Leagues of Votan are in 4th. They made up 3.2% of the meta with 28 players, a 57.9% win rate on leagues, no event wins, 2 top 4s, 6 top 10s, and a 0.98.
There it is. Never mind. I got excited too early.
Yeah, you definitely could have given me 15 guesses at what that faction was, and Votan would not have been number 1 through 15 of them.
No, well, I mean, it turned around at the end, right? Those are some world eater ass stats. Just like, oh, win rate's pretty good. Nothing in any of the end columns.
It's true. And then Tau Empire is in 5th. They are the other largest winner of events this weekend with 2. They had 47 players, 5% of the meta, 55.1% win rate, 2 event wins, 6 top 4s, 11 top 10s, and a 1.75 over rep. This is why I pulled the Tau Empire numbers out so we can take a look at them in a minute. I am afraid is what I'll say. And yeah. At the very bottom, I'm sorry to Imperial Agents players. Your faction is not very good. 36.4%, no placements of any kind for a 0 for overrep. You guys need an army rule real bad, and hopefully GW gives you 1. And that's all I can hope for. The real worst performing faction is Grey Knights with 17 players, 1.9% of the meta, a 39% win rate, and 3 top 10s for a 0 overrep because they don't have any top 4s. Deathwatch swing based on who decides to take them and win a major is basically what happens because they are second from the bottom with 13 players, 1.5% of the meta, a 40.5% win rate, and no placements of any kind. No event wins, no top 4s, no top 10s.
The Deathwatch might be the most, like, if someone can be bothered faction of all time. Them and Recon, right? Are just like the two that are like, if someone can be fucked to do this,
yeah.
Off you
want to
go.
buy 3 boxes of Desolation Marines, 4 boxes of Heavy Intercessors, 3 boxes of Eradicators? Like, do you want to build and paint that? That sounds like a lot of shit, man.
That's
Are you sure?
That's disgusting, dude. It's it's weird to hear about Deathwatch outside of LVO season, but here we are.
Like, all I'm saying is Mark Cartel's not even playing them right now. He's playing like Triple Landed or Ultramarine shit. Like, he's surpassed. Deathwatch are too good for Mark now. He's got to play Land Raider.
Crazy, dude.
Third from the bottom is Space Wolves. 32 players, 3.7% of the meta, a 40.9% win rate, and 4 top 10s.
As it turns out,
from them as well.
When you make an army that's a melee army, only strength 5. It really just, it has a time, dude. It's tough out there.
Imagine being strength 5 though, Anthony. Couldn't be world leaders.
Strength 5 chainswords.
I swear to fuck. Unreal, dude. The disrespect.
Emperor's Children are 4th from the bottom to continue this trend. 3.9% of the meta. A 41.9% win rate. They did win an event, though, which is their top 4 and one of their 3 top 10s for a 0.4 overrep. Continuing to just kind of like bumble their way to success somehow. Yeah, dude, we're going to keep adding points to princes until morale improves.
If EC gets to play against something that's not a stupid stat check, they fuck you in your eyes. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of that going around right now.
Yeah. And then 5th from the bottom, rounding out the bottom 5, is Orcs. 32 players, 3.7% of the meta, 43.8% win rate. They do have a top 4, 3 top 10s, and a 0.43 overrep. Other event winners from the weekend are Death Guard, who won an event, had 3 top 4, 6 top 10s, and a 1.2 overrep with a 44.4% win rate. Blood Angels won an event with a 45.8% win rate.
Ouch.
World Eaters won an event with a 48% win rate and a 0.8 overrep. Space Marines won a single event. They made up 10.6% of the meta, which is a lot. That is a lot of Space Marines.
A lot of Space Marines.
That is a lot of so fucking many Space Marines.
Like Deathwatch, Space Wolves, Blood Angels in those numbers.
Yes. I have another tab that does that, and I might pull it out later just because it's really funny.
It's got to be like at least 18%, right?
I was going to say 20, right? Like
it's probably around 20. Yeah. They had a 1.18 overrep. They had 8 top 4s and 18 top 10s. They're the closest performance faction alongside Tau to what Necrons are playing.
Marines being over 1 on overrep is just like fucking warning signs, right? That's a terrible stat. Space Marine players are universally terrible. Your numbers should not get to be medium.
Chaos Space Marines won an event. They had a 49.3% win rate and a 1.47 overrep because they're being played at kind of a relatively low clip. Eldari managed to win an event. They have an exactly 50% win rate. 3.1% of the meta. They had 4 top 4s and 5 top 10s, so they have a 2 for overrep because they're overperforming somewhat. Well, I guess.
Eldar are broken. Nerf them again.
Damn. Dark Angels won an event with a 50% win rate. 4 top 4s, 7 top 10s, and a 1.4 for overrep. Black Templar won that event that it is talked about earlier, I guess.
Let's go ahead.
They had a 50.9% win rate overall, 1 top 4, which is their event win, 4 top 10s, and a 1.24. And then Drukhari won an event. 51.9% win rate, 2 top 4s, 3 top 10s, and a 1.19 for them. Notably, all that was a bunch of singlets, and then Tau with 2 and Necrons with 4. So, in case you were wondering kind of about how things are doing, that is what's doing.
For reference, I'm pretty sure the Black Templars event, by the way, was Olivier's Pyra list. Just like 1 for 1.
There you go.
I mean, it's good, dude. That was scary.
Yeah. Shocking, right?
I did not have that list marked as favorable, and I'm playing the big bad thing, so,
Notably for Necrons, overall, since January, they have a 59.1% win rate overall, so just barely under 60. Awakened Dynasty is their 4th most played and has a 57.9%, 57.9% win rate. Star Shatter is the most popular detachment. It has overtaken Pantheon of Woe and has a 62.2% win rate.
What have I done?
Pantheon of Woe is the 2nd most played and has a 64.2.
Goodness gracious, dude. Fuck.
3rd most played was Awakened, actually, with a 57.9. Cursed Legion is the 4th most with a 52.6.
That's because Cursed Legion is just like a vaguely reasonable army.
And then Cryptic Conclave is next up by participation with a 60.5% win rate. Followed by, this is where things start to get under 50. You have Canoptic, which has a 43. Hypercrypt with a 40.3. And then you have Obeisance Phalanx with a 71.1.
Literally nothing in Hypercrypt, but apparently Obeisance is good. For Swordsman in the chat, we always remove the mirror from this data.
Yes, all data has mirrors removed automatically. We remove mirrors because if you include mirrors, it shoves everything to the middle, which is
we're not giving Games Workshop that much credit.
That's wild, dude. All of these make sense to me, including Hypercrypt not being very good. Hypercrypt is like not taking advantage of the thing that Necrons are really good at right now, which is just start everyone on the board and walk at the enemy until they are gone. And you don't need to up, down, kick, flip, dance, cute, deep strike, whatever. Like you don't have to do any of that as Necrons now. So
incredibly true.
Just don't,
Just don't. Anthony Vanilla, 2026.
And then I pulled out the Gene Stealer cult data just because I'm amused by it. And then I pulled out the Custodes data because Folger's on. So
shit.
Gene Stealer cults, their best performing detachment and also the most popular detachment is Biosanctic, which is a 57.2% win rate.
Let's go, dude.
Oh, I lied. I lied. It's Final Day with a 58.8% win rate, but that's the 2nd most popular detachment.
Boo. The lame one.
Host of Ascension is 3rd most popular with a 56.7, followed by Outlander Claw with a 50, and then Brood Brothers with 42.9, and Xenocreed with a 31.8.
Come on, Xenocreed's doing worse than Brood Brothers? That's depressing.
Yep. It is notably only like a few people. So
sure, but more people are willing to put Brood Brothers on the table to do well with it than Xenocreed. It's sad.
Yeah. Sorry. Don't know what to tell you, bud. And then for Tau stats, because I pulled those out real quick anyways, they have overall 51.4 since January. Their most popular detachment by far is Moka, which has a 56.3. And then Retaliation Cadre is 2nd most popular with a 50.3, followed by Crude Hunting Pack with a 52, Kalyan with a 42.4, Auxiliary with a 47.2, and Experimental with a 33.1.
Sorry,
it's very funny to
switch the Custodes stats.
It was very funny to like look away from my spreadsheet and just see 2 fingers from Folger.
I'm trying to get it to focus, dude. That's what happens when you eat too many crayons, dude. You just can't figure out technology, dude.
Just poke it. Just give it a little
poke it, and then we're gonna bring it back. And then
just move closer to your
just do that or just tap it and
keep moving closer until it decides you're within the fold.
There we go.
There we go. Much better.
Just see move from blurry Folger to every pore on Folger's face.
Yeah.
Enjoy that. Yeah.
All right. Give us some Custodes stats, Nathan.
Overall, 52.3% win rate.
Reasonable.
Their best attachment is their second most popular, but their most popular is Lions with a 49.8.
Oh, what are we doing?
But their second most popular detachment is Talons.
Oh,
with how high of a win rate do you think this is? I'm just wondering.
Because the most popular had a 49 and the overall was 52, I'm going to say 58.
I was going to say 60.
I'll put with 60.
So it's over 60.
Woo! Cooking.
That's not good.
65.5.
Oh, that's not good, boys. That's not good. Oh no.
Folger, that's more than all the Necron detachments, bro.
Folger back into focus.
That's so bad.
It is notably more than all of the Necron detachments, yes. Notably.
Folger, what have you done?
That's not good, boys. That's not good.
Their other detachments are also what kind of pull down that win rate. Shield Host is.
It has to be by a lot.
It has to be by a bunch. Like
Shield Host has a 46.2% win rate and has a comparable number to Talons. So notably, Lions, Shield Host, and Talons are very similar in play rate, just across the board. So their win rates kind of very.
Just as a quick heads up for any Custodes players listening at home, don't do that. Just play Talons, guys.
Just get back in the Raider, dude.
There's notably one person who played Null Maiden to 3 games and dropped.
Did they?
I would do that too.
They had a 33% win rate. They won their probably a game and then lost 2 games and then dropped.
I would wager it was the 3rd game, but
and Solar Spearhead is a 48.3% win rate.
Sag,
but has notably about a third of the other participation rates for the other 3 detachments. So, Folger, tell us more about Talons since you are upset.
Well, he's not upset about Talons. He's upset about what's coming.
Yeah, correct. I've been preaching Talons ever since I got this bunk ass book a year and a half ago. It's a pile of dog, and it needs to be exterminatus just immediately. The only redeeming thing is 1 CP, anything in the game, reactive move 6. That's all you need. That's all you've ever needed. You don't need anything else.
It's all you get.
It's all I get.
Whoa.
It's not actually true.
Yeah, I was gonna say Folger spends 5 CP a game on a shooting stratagem.
Yes. No, but dude, it's the secret strat that is actually insane in Talons. You really have 2.5 strats, and that's all you get, which is reactive flat 6 on everything, which enables just,
wild bullshit.
It's basically 1 CP recycle a Custodes squad. Like that's how you should look at it if you play it right. You either jump a wall and then you don't get interacted with, or you get back in a Raider now and you don't get interacted with. And when 6 Custodes squads by turn 3 is 9 Custodes squads, that's pretty good. But the shooting strat is the sauce. It hits all the right breakpoints. It's +1 strength, +1 AP. And on every single custodian thing, that's great. So, there's a Rhino that's looking mad bolt gunnable. You just spend the strat, you go to 5/2/2 full reroll wounds, double tap, and sometimes it dies. You shoot some other like Space Marine bodies, spend the strat, they'll probably die. It's great. Then you have fallback and act.
Still probably.
Yeah, who knows, man? It's Custodes shooting,
I mean,
right? Like
the way it works on Mom is kind of interesting, dude.
Yeah. So with the Inquisitors specifically, that's where it gets a little crazy. Getting +1 strength and AP on all of those guns. Like the little 55-point Inquisitor had a game at Pyra, like top of 1, spends the strat, refunds her CP on a 3+, and is like 5 Sanguinary Guard. Kapow!
Just so many.
It's so many, right?
Just a generic Inquisitor? Just a regular old Inquisitor?
Folger. People don't know about the regular Inquisitor.
Okay.
Enlighten them.
My God. Okay. For 55 points, people, let me preach the golden word. You get a CP refund on your unit for a 3+ that I always fail, but that's in theory a good rule. Then you get just a comedically overpowered flamer for your points cost. It's 2d6 shots at 3/2/1 dev wounds and 18-inch range, not 12. And this is a flamer that then goes in your Custode unit. So it gets reroll wounds with dev wounds and double tap because it's in a unit of Custodian Guard. So in this game, the reference I just made, I rolled 11 shots and 9 shots and used the strat, which then worked on both. So I was 4/3/1 dev wounds and just aced like 5 by herself. And I was like, cool.
You didn't need those, right? That wasn't important in the matchup in Custodes.
It wasn't your fight first unit. Like, you'll be fine. You'll be fine, dude. And then he ran them backwards into his deployment zone. I was like, yeah, have fun with that. He wasn't willing to get Overwatch cheesed.
Unrelated news, my Warhammer Plus model showed up.
Let's go.
I love that there are just random 55-point shitters in multiple factions, because this is just like Traitor Enforcers all over again.
Oh, yeah, well, it's just like
welcome to 55-point shitter world.
It's like you're pointing it for an agent's unit, not for a Custodes unit.
No, absolutely. And it's great. It goes along with Draxus, who is her own war crime. She single-handedly, by existing on boards, makes Victrix Guard players respect you, which is all the most I can ask.
I'm just glad she's not indirect anymore. That's all I'm really glad.
That's fair.
Dude, I forgot she used to be indirect.
I had one of my opponents asked me this week, like, she's indirect, right? I was like, God, I wish still, but no.
Yeah.
I wish. Man, that was so rough. I played it every time I play against elves. They just come anywhere remotely to the mid board, and it's like, here's your sustain 2 indirect.
I mean, those poor orcs, dude.
Yeah, it's not good.
Anything that's just like infantry, not very good armor save. She's like, I have terrible news.
You don't even have to have not very good armor saves.
I mean, you can have a 3-up, right? As long as it's not a 2-up and you double tap, like that unit's just dead. You're just killing everything.
Yeah.
Now, one of our games at Toronto this time last year, I distinctly remember Jax Angron getting one-tapped by Draxus. Just like 100-0 from the dev wounds and failing 2-ups.
It'll happen, dude.
It's just like, should have done that, bro. Should have passed more saves.
I love that the +1 strength on bolters. You're like, yeah, that Rhino. What if I had +1 to wound against it?
Dude, yeah, exactly. It's great.
I'm 5 full rerolls. Yeah, AOC in it.
Well, it only works for 1 activation, right? Because you're gonna double tap it. Like, there's no way they're AOCing
it. They're gonna smoke it, obviously.
Obviously.
I just love the thought process of that, where sometimes +1 strength is just +1 to wound into all of the targets that you give a shit about. That's amazing. I love it. Yep. Great break point.
Yeah, we should all count our lucky stars that strat doesn't work in melee and talents.
What, dude? Instead, you have to every game explain to your opponents that you do technically have a +1 to wound in combat strat, even though it's triple conditional in 2 CP. And it's like 1 CP Lance is like just way too good.
Insane.
And like broken. I have 2 CP. You have to be wounded. It's at the start of the fight phase, not when you're attacking. Like, for why? Por qué?
I'm just surprised that they didn't just give them lance, since they just have long spears, and those are kind of
like
I don't anyways. Right?
I don't understand. I feel like 1 CP lance is like right there.
Well, they don't use it that way.
The Watchmaster's version of it notably does have lance.
That's different.
His Vigil Spear has lance. It's also significantly worse. It's 6/2 D3 lance, but
it's not significantly worse. But
that's fair. Profile keywords better.
Yeah.
So what's the skeleton then of what you would play if you were playing?
This is my favorite question for Folger to get asked because he has a 1900 point skeleton.
Look, if the skeleton just has meat on it, that's fine.
3 land raiders, like 24 guard, Draxus,
builds
Inquisitor, and some systems, right?
Yeah, it's God's perfect list. Every time you build Custodes, it's exactly 2K, and everything fits perfectly as the God Emperor intended. You're like, all right, so let's play some guard. So you play 27, so 3 5s and 3 4s because it has to match up for like OCD purposes and it being perfect. Then you get 3 land raiders. You get 4 units of sisters, which you get 2 prosecutors for screening your home field, holding your home field, and then 2 units of witch seekers to walk forward and do objectives and project your auras. And then that's 1845 or 1850, which is exactly enough for your 2 Inquisitors because you have to take a Warlord because Custodes characters are awful. So Draxus, the true Custodes character, comes in clutch for us. And that's the list. I can't imagine not playing Draxus. Can't imagine not playing the Inquisitor. So you're kind of at 2K.
And that's it.
That's kind of it. And here shortly, and while we're all waiting for a slate, then we might have a much more real question on that with our 65% win rate, with our one stratagem having detachment. We'll go from there.
Maybe Custody Guard a little too cheap.
Well, that's kind of the meme, right? You have 3 5-mans, so it's not that hard for you to be like, I have 2 5-mans.
So I was talking
one less sister.
Yeah, I was talking with Brian the other day, and I was like, look, man, I'm gonna play Adepticon. I'm probably gonna play Custodes. I mean, how much worse is my list if it's just 6 4-mans? Like,
and that'd be a lot of nerf.
That's a lot of nerf. That's 120
points. Yeah.
Like, it's probably not getting hit that much. So I'm probably fine, I guess. I don't know.
See,
that's where I'm at.
See, the biggest nerf they can give you, Folger, is requiring you to have a Custodes Warlord.
Correct. Oh, dude, that'd be so bad.
Dude, that would be tragic.
That is the 120 point nerf right there. That's the 120 point nerf.
If it was just like 120 points and you have to have a Custodian Warlord.
Oh, forget it, dude. I'm so
well, that's 200 points. That's too much.
That's 240, bro. That's terrible.
Dude.
Could you take a wait?
I'd play Knight Centura before I play.
There you go.
Like,
no. Custodes character keyword.
They're so bad. They just can't do anything. There's like the closest you can justify is a Blade Champ, right? And even then, he's
bad.
He's not good. He's the price of basically 3 Custodian Guard for one guy with worse damage, worse defense, and like very middling rule.
This is untrue, Seth. Custodes Land Raiders don't get the multi-melta.
There you go. But I hit on 2s.
They do plenty.
Which, like, let's be real for a minute here. The hitting on 2s versus 3s, it's like the same damage, dude. I don't know. I'm going to hand you like 1 or 2 las cannon saves. You might fail them. You might not. Like, they're not there to do damage, right? Like, I think it's whatever.
Oh, give them the Blade Champ comparison, King.
Ah, yes. So if you are ever curious how we ended up on this list, if I was getting very frustrated in testing, this would have been back in January, with all of my lists were like, well, I guess I have to play Blade Champs because otherwise my opponent pulls out his measuring stick and is like 18.1, but I'm on this objective, and then I like weep uncontrollably. So I was like, well, I guess I have to play Blade Champs. But then we were thinking about it, and what about if in Custodes you got a 100-point enhancement that you can take 3 times, and it's called Transform, Autobots Roll Out type thing, and you just turn your 1 Blade Champ for 100 points into a Land Raider, so you get plus 10 wounds, double your toughness, and on average, and kind of objectively, you're faster. Right? And then you get more points for stuff. And that's the list. There you go. Wholesale, clip it and ship it. I'm on 193 diff in 2 events. Good luck.
Whoa.
I feel like you need to put the Blade Champion torso like in the bolter into mouth.
Like,
he's up there. He's like, I got a new job.
He'd be like, look, I could have had a Blade Champion, but he's much better at piloting this.
Actually, way funnier is if you can get like him sculpted into the side, leaning out of the window, like fucking, spinning his hand around. Let's go, boys. Yeah.
He's literally living the drive me closer. I want to hit them with my sword.
Yeah.
Like that's just who he is now.
He's the guy that pilots Folger's Land Raider that 1v1'd the Dorn in Melee, dude.
Yes.
He jumped out and gave it the fucking hands and was like, I remember who I was.
I wanted to see if they also hit better in Melee, but they still just hit
They
on
don't.
fours. It would have been very funny if they hit on 2s in Melee 801.
Well, they know tank karate, right? That's the secret sauce of all your.
That's what it is. Their tank knows karate.
Correct.
Dude, I don't want to fight a tank that knows karate. Fuck that noise, dude.
Dude, how many times I played
kickflip
Baby
and tank.
Jack with Drukari, and he tried it 2 turns in a row. He was like, I'm going to tag your Land Raider with 5 witches and contest your objective. And the tank karate just came out and kapow! Just like killed 5 with like 3 sustains. So I was like, yeah. Just embarrassing.
That's tough, dude. 5 is too many. If you told me he killed 3 and you still held the point, I'd be like, all right, that sucks. But
That's where I thought he was going.
Yeah.
No. It just like banged 5, banged 4, and was like, oh yeah, we got him.
Brutal.
Damn it.
It's a tough life.
I love everything.
Tough life
about
for
this.
those for those poor witches out there trying to tag Land Raiders, getting hit by the las cannons flapping on them.
Wait, is either Draxus's guns or the Inquisitor's guns pistol?
I don't think so.
So they're not the accidentally like here in the Witch Destroyer 4000.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I mean, the Witch Destroyer kind of is the the Overwatch.
No,
thing.
you can get a bolt pistol in the Inquisitor, but I don't think that's what you're going for.
No, you're playing the combi weapon.
And Draxus is definitely not a
Not pistols.
Yeah,
No,
it's not pistol. It's just psychic torrent. Sorry.
heartbreaking. Unlike Calgar, who is the fucking Witch Destroyer, getting tagged by 3 Reavers. Is funny.
Dude,
it is very funny that that Draxus still has the best version of the Shuriken catapult in existence.
Dude, she doesn't give a fuck.
Anti-infantry 4-up dev wounds is very funny.
2 damage. Count them. Dose.
Osterman
wishes he had a taste of her power.
Yeah.
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised to hear that
I fucking wish I was Draxus.
Draxus snuck in and stole his actual
Yeah,
Shuriken
she
catapult.
stole the bloody twins, dude. She was like, "These are mine now."
And he has
She's not learned how to use 2 of them at once yet. That's what's keeping her down.
That's 11th edition. That's
Yes.
the 11th edition remake of the model. Is 2-fisting them and
Listen to me. Stop that right now.
Look, what if still dev wounds but twin linked?
That's giving the other one to Koyaz's
But they already really have that.
Yeah, they kind of have it.
They kind of already have that already.
Just give me like 8 shots on that thing to double tap. Nothing.
It's
could
because
possibly...
it's 2. So you get double the shots again. No more twin linked in the game. Everything just double shots again.
Do you remember they did that with the Cladius, dude? They took it, made it 4 shots,
4 shots.
but also twin linked. Why is it like that?
They just keep holding the trigger down as long as possible. They're
Yeah.
fancy, and their twin linked guns actually do fire twice as fast.
Drives me nuts, dude.
Yes, she also has a dragon.
She does, which is sick.
She does.
Does the dragon even have rolls, or is it just there for?
I'm pretty sure that's the psychic weapon.
That's
or
the
something,
dirge
no?
singer, dude.
Yeah, that's the extra
Is
sustain.
that what the
gun.
dirt is?
I
That the
think
dirge
so.
singer?
That was my
No, the
understanding.
Shuriken catapult
No,
is
the
Dirge
Shuriken
Singer.
yeah.
Is it?
Her other
Bring it
thing
up.
is the
Her other
dragon.
thing. Yeah.
I just had her data sheet open.
I don't think.
I'm pretty
her-
sure it's the psychic veil ability or something is the freaking little lizard.
I don't think it is. I think that's just there for drip.
That's way
Yeah,
cooler.
It's just drip. It's just drip. It's very
She's
much
just
better that
aura
way.
farming on the battlefield.
Yeah. There you go. There's your
Our,
dragon.
our little
there he
Eldar
is, dude.
cosplayer. Oh, nice. Our
Oh, yeah.
little Eldar cosplayer running
It's
around
called-
with Shuriken.
Called
Cat.
Shang, I believe. It's a Wyvac.
A
Okay.
what?
A
Uh-huh.
Wyvac?
Wyvac.
That's what Wikipedia says.
All
That
right.
is a 40K version, so we can copyright it version of Wyvern.
Ah,
Fair
fair enough.
That's all.
I just
Yes,
like how
the
much
dragon
she
will
looks
be
like
all
GSP
grown up and
GSP
she will
head.
ride it. Yes.
Kind of impressive.
Oh, dude, give me a dreadnought and it's just her on riding
Her on a dragon.
Her on a dragon.
Draxus has held up the faction for so long that she gets interred into a Telemon.
A Custodes
There.
dreadnought.
Now we're talking, dude. Yes.
All right, Nathan, do you want to take us into the first of 2 rounds of the Cult the High Five while I get the plugs up, and then we'll go into chatting a bit about Pyra?
Yes. All right. Because I fucked up last week, I'm going to do this twice, and I kind of hate myself for saying I would do it. So, but let me be a man of my word and thank all the people who did the Chris Pie 5, which is the $15 tier on Patreon. Thank you to Christopher the Deceiver, has written my current diet plan, and the Nightbringer is driving the struggle bus into the coughing baby Irvine. Thank you to Willow Weeks. Thank you to Dan F. Thank you to Luke Harridans taking the Subway McCarthy. Thank you to David, Shrug Emoji Clark. Thank you to Exhausted. Thank you to James H. Thank you to Colton, Dan F. Miller. Thank you to Fungus. Thank you to John, V8 Gang. The new night next to the other chassis gives off "Don't talk to me or my son ever again." Thank you to Cam, F. Dan Morton, Hog Emoji, Hog Emoji. Thank you to Lady Malice's Footstool. Thank you to Josiah Gettle. Thank you to Frankie. Thank you to Isaac. Last week on Stat Check, Nathan forgot how to spell Gene Stealers and made bad Attack on Titan takes. Anthony Vanilla got lost in the snow, and Innes is going to win the ITC for real this year, he promises to Rada. Thank you to Maybe We Need Even Bigger Catan to save us from this older, smaller Catan. Thank you to Thomas, got a Polish guy to laugh during pairings for Cohesion. That's impressive, actually. That's might just be your success of the year, I'll say. Thank you to Steven. I forgot to roll 4-ups on my Catan, so it died turn 2. But it was okay because I had another one that ended the game on their home objective, Ross. Thank you to Tom, GorgonCon, Submarine Services H. Thank you to If You Thought getting called out on a podcast would cure me of my ongoing addiction to will bad things into being viable. The Accolon Terminators on the build plate would say you would be wrong. Thank you to frantically scheduling a GT the week after Twin Lance release. Thank you to Floof. I knew I forgot to change something, Cox. Thank you to Come With Me on a Gucci Adventure trademarked. Thank you to Nerfed for crimes committed by better players. Thank you to John Garza. Thank you to Henry. Juvenile penguin chicks in their blubber phase can weigh more than their parents, the wizard. Thank you to Penny the Penguin. Will be very sad if Stat Check ends. Please do not make Penny the Penguin sad. This is your penguin fact. Thank you to Matthew, Pain Engine aficionado. And thank you to Vivian. Bats are objectively cooler than penguins. The largest bat in the giant golden crowned flying fox with a span of 5.5 feet, but weighs 3.1 pounds. I do agree. I do like bats. They are the best mammal.
I don't like bats at all. The idea of a 5.5 foot wide bat just made me freak out in real time. But it only weighing 3 pounds is very strange.
I will give you a random bit of lore about my past real quick, I guess. So when I was interviewing for graduate school and I was looking at labs to join, I went to the University of Wisconsin where I interviewed with a lab that was doing research on bats. And they were doing research on bats specifically because they get a disease called like this white nose fungus infection that has been decimating bat populations in the United States. And so they had a bunch of bats, and they showed me the room where they had a bunch of bats. It's pretty cool. I almost went there, but ended up in Chicago. Notably better than Madison, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Also, just so people know, bats are very important to your ecosystem. They eat bugs, and they pollinate your crops.
That stuff's dope. I just don't want to know. You know? I don't want to see
definitely this would be Nathan's Gotham origin story.
Yeah. That was inches away from you getting bit by one of them and, becoming better Batman.
The man
bat. You'd have been the stat bat. That would have been
Damn it. We missed it.
Boo.
We messed it all up. We could have been Dr. Stat Bat.
Fuck.
All right. We're going to do the lightning plugs this week because we just had a little bit of extra. So if you're enjoying the show so far, guys, please do remember to do all the social things. That's liking, commenting, subscribing. We do our best to respond to all the comments that you guys put down there. I think we did a most recent Pass on the Motion episode. Thank you so much. We really do appreciate it. If you're in a position to support us a little bit more and you'd like to support us financially so we can continue to provide awesome stuff like this and the bonus content we do, you can check out patreon.com/statcheck, or you can click the box in the description below. It'll take you to the YouTube membership page. That'll get you access to our Discord. It'll get you discount codes for Red Dragon, and it'll let you interact with us and do a bunch of other cool stuff. We even have people like Folger in there now. Anthony just keeps adding everyone on the US team to make you interact with you guys a little more, and it's great. We're just farming out our friends for content.
Look, sometimes I need an answer to a question, and then I type @ to tag them, and they're not there, and I get frustrated and DM them an invite to the Discord.
We're very close to having a sub channel that's just Team USA.
If you'd like to check out any of the people that help keep us on the air, you can check out Red Dragon, Will and Yutani, J15 Games, and Saltar Games. All their links are in the description box. There are discount codes for all of them except Red Dragon. Red Dragons is a patron-only one, as we mentioned. If you would like to hear more from us, you can check out StatCheck at youtube.com/StatCheck. We're live every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern, 11 p.m. UK time. We're here doing this. You guys are here to enjoy it, so keep checking us out. If you want to catch us live, you can do things like interact with us in chat and shout at people. And I hear that that's a thing that people enjoy doing. If you want to work with any of our coaches, you can check out stat-check.com/coaching or drop us an email at coaching@stat-check.com. If you would like to hear from any of the other shows on the network, you can also find them at youtube.com/statcheck. That's End of the Matrix, X&1, Takeover Cover, Champions of 40K, Medicaid's Orders. I think that's all of them. I'm refusing to do any more. That's it. All right, let's move on. Anthony, Folger, how was Pyra?
Dude, I'm going to let Folger tell it. I've been to 3 of these fucking things. So to me, they're, my favorite thing that I do besides WTC, and I've talked about it a bunch. But Folger, for your first time, how was it? You got to travel with Dan the man, so you got to teleport. Dude, give him the experience.
All right, so to start off with the Danimal, that's my dude. Fucking love Dan.
Dan's great.
Dan's the best. He came prepared with this little tote bag of holding, which had every item you could possibly need, which was dope. So we got to pass out on a plane for 8 hours, which is the best sleep I've gotten on a plane in my life. First trip I've ever not gotten farmed by jet lag. I don't know if you guys remember from WTC. I was sleeping under a chair in the venue. That was
not
something
good.
I did. No, it was not good. In terms of Pyra proper, I got to hang out with Typhus and drive through bumfuck nowhere Poland, which was cool. And then got to the event, and it was dope. Event was super cool, and I really enjoyed the vibes of everybody together, just kind of slumming it in a hotel. That was a lot of fun. Got to hang out with some of the Euro boys. The 40K was a little cramped, but it's 40K at the highest level. So got to play 5 rounds of sweaty 40K, which is that's a good weekend for me.
Working for it in those rounds.
Yeah, absolutely. And then to top it off, we were fed dope Polish food, 3 meals a day for 2 days, which was, that was pretty cool. Got to try a bunch of stuff that I couldn't pronounce. That was quite good. And then
give us your best shot at telling us the name of the place the venue was located.
I'll pull it up on my phone, and Polish people can hate me after I try this. Give me 2 seconds.
They just expect it. My PI is Polish, and I said his name, and he looked at me and was like, absolutely not. That's not right.
Okay. This is going to be bad. We're going to go with Mirzyk, Wojwodowcu, Lubisky, Polska. There you go.
Nailed it.
Wherever that is, that's where I was. And then halfway through round 4, I want to say, Anthony looks over and says, "Hey, Folger, our flight just got delayed." I was like, "Oh no, here we go." And he's like, "Oh, don't worry about it, man. It's just an earlier morning flight, 7:30 instead of
it's got a
afternoon.
transfer. No big deal, dude.
We're fine." I was like, "Oh, okay, I'll just finish up my game." I then finish up my game. And then I hear, "Oh no," from across the room. And I'm like, "Oh, hey man, what's up?" He's like, "It's on Wednesday, not Monday." So then, slightly different change of plans. So then Anthony, Dan, and I got stuck in Poland for 3 days extra, which turned out to be the best part for me of the entire event. And turns out this is how I should just do events now, which is do the event, take 2 days extra, hang out with friends, and it was awesome.
Dude, we had a blast.
What did you guys get up to in Poland? I assume you guys were in Warsaw, right?
Yeah, we got back to Warsaw and then got a hotel and crashed that night. Well, I would say crashed that night. I lied. We relapsed on our Hearthstone addictions. So that was 6 hours post round 5 of Pyra.
We learned that all of us, basically at the same time of Hearthstone as well, played it a bunch, proper standard Hearthstone, not like the Battlegrounds or any of the other formats. We all just jammed standard at the same time. So we got into the hotel room and we basically drew straws for classes, and we went just down the line, and we picked naturally the top 3 because we're degenerates in everything we do. And just got after it on the ladder right away. Like all three of us played ladder that night until like 3:30, like what was it, 3:30 in the morning?
It was like,
we went to bed.
Yeah.
Just deep in the D-Gen mines.
Which was great. And then the next day, we did some touristy stuff. Went to a couple museums, walked around Poland,
Big walk.
We went to this candy shop that Dan got this cow bag of candy, which will come
important later.
Yeah. That's the setup for what I'm about to say. And then Typhus was like, hey, here's the restaurant recommendation. We're like, all right, cool, we'll go there. So then after walking around Warsaw for 3 hours in hoodies and with this cow bag full of candy, we go to a Michelin star restaurant that cost 3.5 Chipotle bowls. But we had to coat check. So we coat checked 3 bummy hoodies and a cow bag with candy in it.
Full of candy.
At a Michelin star restaurant, which they looked at us a little funny, but they were very, very nice about it. And they saved us. And that was the best meal front to back. I could talk an hour and 2-minute podcast about that meal. Was insane. I could let Anthony kind of take some of that.
The name of the restaurant was Elixir in Warsaw. It was insane. So based on the door anyway, they had won basically a Michelin star every year from 2019 until now. We kind of goofed it. Apparently part of the thing with the restaurant is that they will give you a paired shot of vodka or a bit of wine with every dish. The only problem with that is none of us drank. So we didn't do that, and they were confused every time. Every single time we brought a plate, they brought out a plate, they were like, do you want that? And we were like, nah. So we got 3 appetizers, 3, we each got an entree, and then we got 3 desserts. And then we found out afterwards that probably the most expensive part of the entire meal was the fact that we got 6 bottles of water. Because we were just like, water sounds good. Water sounds great. But it really didn't matter because the whole thing came out to being $80 each or something $70 each after all of that was said and done. And which we all smiled, laughed, paid with a grin, went back to the hotel and played 6 more hours of Hearthstone after. So yeah, that was our experience. It was crazy, genuinely, same page as Folger, front to back, no meal even gets close to eating at this place. Of all the places I've eaten and all the travel that I've done, hands down the best front to back meal I have ever had.
Yeah, by far.
So yeah, they were also we're not going to go through the whole meal, obviously, because it's not food check. I posted pictures in the Patreon Discord, though, of basically the entire thing that we ate. The part that really got at least me and Folger and Dan when he had half a second to breathe before he finished inhaling his apple pie, holy moly, he went through that, was that they were just balling on us on the stuff America's meant to be good at, right? We got this beef cheek pierogi thing, and it came with a smoky barbecue sauce. Just hands down the best smoky barbecue sauced meat I've ever had. What's that about? That's not cool. That's our thing. Same thing with apple pie. The apple pie came out, Dan took 1 bite and was like, you guys get 1 bite and then this is gone. And he wasn't exaggerating. We each took our 1 bite. We looked up. It was gone. So yeah, that was awesome. We basically got a 2-3, basically it felt like 3 days. We kept being oh my God, tomorrow too, while we were there the whole time, of just a trip with the boys. And, if I remember right, Folger hasn't taken a non-40K vacation in many moons. So it was, a bit of just hey man, our lives are in a good enough place. Our jobs are cool about it or cool enough about it. Let's just enjoy some time off. And it was really cool.
Yeah, it was much needed, and we had enough time to not get jet lagged there and then unjet lag ourselves ahead of time back, which was super nice. So we had a 5 a.m. go to the airport time on Wednesday, which we just stayed up all night and then crashed on the plane. And then I didn't feel that much jet lag when I was back. So
yeah, we had a short layover, it's a 2-hour flight into Brussels. That was kind of chill. I think we fell asleep for an hour of maybe. And then we woke up when we were there and got on the plane to JFK. And I don't know about you, but I was kind of just poof, and woke up in New York.
Yeah.
And that sounds like the perfect flight, actually.
It was good as that could have gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, so apparently this is how I need to do 40K events, like from now
It's been
on.
one of the nice things about like going full time with it is being able to just like take a couple days at the end of a trip and not being like, I must get back so I can save vacation days. And like being able to spend a little of extra time, doing New York and doing Toronto and stuff like that with like a couple days to not destroy yourself, and also not, you see all the loveliest convention centers of all the cities you've been through, right? Like, man, I've seen the shit out of some hotels in Eastern Europe.
Right.
Yeah. I think that's a part about 40K that doesn't get like maybe talked enough, is that like, yeah, we're all a bunch of degenerate sweats that play 40K at a super high level, but like the travel part is super cool, and you should lean into that more in terms of just enjoying it with cool people that you have a shared interest with. I think that, that could be used to get some people out of their houses.
That's a tier list for Art of War, right? Top 10 cities we visited.
There you go. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, dude, Folger is not exaggerating. We could definitely do like a whole ass podcast on just the 3-day boys trip in Warsaw.
Also, Folger, to take a brief aside, somebody has already made an STL version of what we talked about like 10 minutes ago of the Blade Champion piloting.
Oh, hilarious.
So I'm going to share this for everybody who's watching so that you can see this construction. And I'm going to try not to share. I think I did it correctly this time. There we go. Just so everybody can see.
My God.
Hell yeah, dude.
Somebody's already merged your Blade Champion into the front of the Land Raider.
That's who it is, dude. If someone can get one of those to Folger, I'll pay to have it painted.
There we go.
Yeah, there we go.
I'll play it. It can be 11th when I'm nerfed and bad, dude. I'll put it on a board. Like,
yeah, we'll see a table.
That's so funny.
There we go.
Never underestimate the internet.
Thank you, whoever did that.
They are real quick with it. That was.
Thank you to Sam in our Discord.
Yeah.
But also, I think it's really funny because some Americans have been declining like their gold tickets to go to Spain. It's like, no, go to Spain.
No,
those people are fools.
Spain is amazing. You should go. Please go to Spain. Get your gold ticket.
I'm reasonably convinced I'm going to go out a week early before the event and just like mini boot camp / spend a week in Barcelona. Like, why not?
I might actually take one of the team's tickets that I've got.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm not
going to play. I'm just going to walk around. But
book an Airbnb for like a week in advance and like do a practice game a day. I can tax expense out a whole week in Barcelona, right?
Could do.
Probably.
Say it's a business expense. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's 100% what I'm going to be doing.
Why would you not?
Right. But to the topic at hand, Pyra was great. Super cool event. If you ever have the chance, opportunity, or honor, however you want to look at it, to go with your country and play, say yes. It's dope.
Just do it. Yeah, we got to have like a big Chocodice table. I taught all the Americans the game.
Yes.
Yeah. It's good.
Times.
There's something to be said. Do you remember the 30-player game we played at LVO, Anthony?
Yes, I remember that. I remember the 40-person game we played at WTC before we played the polls one year. Oh, yeah. That's been an integral part of the experience since I was taught the game. Brino got pinned between me and Typhus, which is a terrible place to be. So yeah, we had a really good time with it. It was like a great bonding experience for most of the boys. They got to meet and get a little bit more integrated in with the community, which is a huge part of why I've made such a push for Team America to do all these like European events. Obviously, the travel's not the most convenient thing in the world. But, we're Americans and our travel to events is sometimes scuffed and horrible, even if we stay domestic. So,
generally.
All right, let's go on to some questions, I think.
There are a bunch.
Yep.
Good. As always, there are 3 ways to get your questions asked on the show. One is to be in the members Discord, the patron Discord. One is to leave a super chat on the live show, and one is to ask a really good question. That's it. Nathan, take us away.
All right. There are some Folger specific ones. I'll just do them when they're here. Jeff, Death Company Forklift, has the first question, which is, are there any factions that you think should get a complete rules rework, not because it is too strong or too weak and can't be fixed with points, but because it has a rule set that just feels bad?
It's
many, actually.
I got
many.
While we were at Pyra, I got Folger to agree to taking the invuln wholesale off of Custodes in exchange for other rules. And he would take that bargain every time.
So for some context here, a fun exercise we did was we counted the number of unique profiles that I have offensively in my list compared to 1 RepX. And I have 2 more total profiles, including close combat attacks on my sisters, than that 1 RepX. So I would like both rules and a rework and detachments that don't work on, like, maybe if it has to be a Tuesday and you have to wear a green shirt and like all this other stuff. I would just like print me some good rules with movement 8 and a worse invuln. I'm fine with that. Just something different. Make my characters
something
like just literally like one compelling reason. Just give me one. That's all I'm asking.
Can I advocate for Tyranids to please have an identity? Please,
absolutely.
Dear Christ.
Tyranids absolutely should get a rework. Like, there's a couple armies, Tyranids probably, Custodes, Imperial Agents obviously, but like we're not really counting those. That just need like.
Why should we?
No, the AdMech rework, right? Where like every single thing changes, including
whoops, our bad, sorry.
Yeah.
I think that is also true for some other factions, like Grey Knights kind of need that.
Yeah, for sure.
Got like this identity crisis of we are about teleporting, but none of our stuff really works that great at a bunch of things the game requires.
Draxus has as many anti-Xenos rules as the Grey Knight Codex has anti-Chaos rules.
Yeah.
It's just that one strat.
I mean, like, look, that specific thing is fine, right? Like, the anti-specific shit is bad for the game.
Bullshit,
that probably shouldn't exist. But
it's very funny that Thousand Suns has an anti-Grey Knight stratagem, though.
Yeah, pretty much, right?
If you haven't read it, if anyone hasn't read it, Mike Pestilence did a wonderful article on Warhammer about why Grey Knights are just bullshit right now. Go and check it out. It's literally just like, hey, this book is boring and it doesn't do anything. And also, every army that has anti-psyker stuff shits on it and it doesn't do anything better itself. It's really cool that Psychic's a negative keyword this edition. It's probably for the best.
Big time.
Yep. It's the jail version of the 9th edition Psychic phase taking up so much of the game. Some of the time was they took it and put it into the bin. And they were like, you need to be in the penalty box for a whole edition and you need to be bad because of the amount of negative cultural, like 40k player culture.
Look, and they kept it on the Thousand Suns and it's bullshit there too. So like, I don't even mind it going, but...
Orcs are another one I actually think kind of need a rework because I think the WAs, like, it's a good rule, but like conceptually just means that orcs probably only have like a few turns to like.
The WA really, like the WA used to
also
have
it's people yelling,
right?
It's just like, people yelling.
Last edition, didn't the WA like do something on the turn you did it and then something the turn afterwards as well? Like you kept like half the bonuses.
I think it kept like the offense, but not the defense or something.
It kept the invuln and the like attacks, but not the strength or something like that.
That'd be fine.
That would be fine. I agree.
It's like, look, man, they keep the +1 attack and they keep the 5 invulnerable save, so you don't just feel like you've blown your entire defensive profile.
Dude, the speed at which orcs die outside the WA is wild.
Yeah,
the game is made to kill Satan, and it fucking shows. Like,
yeah.
I mean, that's the other bit, right? Is that our current version of the rules has kind of this weird moment of an exponential curve for how quickly durability matters, where it just doesn't, and then all of a sudden it really just does.
Yeah. I mean, that's been a problem for literally all of 10th. They've gotten this right at no point in 10th.
Yeah.
Like, it's the problem with every single durability situation where at one end you have like a custodian guard who's a 2-up, 4-up invul, and that's not crazy.
That's not even durable.
Not even durable. And right next to it is a Catan who has the -1 damage, 5-up, feel no pain, 3-up, 4-up, and then all of a sudden you're all the way over here in T11, and they're all the way up here, like in the sky for durability.
Yeah, the game is at its best when it is like make contact, kill. If you have to pick one of the two extremes, the durability skew, horrible. It is always the worst.
It's very reminiscent of like when they had transhit and transhuman in the previous edition, where they like stripped away your opponent's rules essentially.
Yeah, it was the like 30 Deathwing Terminators or whatever of 9th edition, right? Where
the transhuman dude.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So do you remember the Custodes? You don't get rerolls responsive stratagem. Oh god, that one made me mad.
Yeah, you had to vect that one.
Yeah.
That Terminator list was super funny because we didn't even pretend when we went to that Alpine Cup. We were like, Typhus on an army he's never going to play it is going to get a 2 against this 3 times, and that's going to be enough. We didn't build for a counter. We didn't try shit. We put Typhus into their teeth every time.
We're like, we'll beat the rest of you.
Yeah.
This is fine.
Good luck.
You just need to get run over by the bus for 5 turns and take maybe 1 tire from the bus while getting run over if you can.
Yeah.
All right, what's up next?
Next question is also, has Folger ever played 40K against someone named Maxwell specifically?
That's so specific.
It's very specific. I don't think I could remember a specific name for an opponent, unfortunately. Like, I don't know if Folger can.
I've definitely played against a Max. Now, whether he is well, I don't know. I wonder if I can keyword search my Tabletop Battles app. Let's find out.
Interesting.
No, I cannot. It doesn't let me search Max. I'm sure I've played a Max. I know I've played.
Oh, it is a joke about coffee.
Yes, it is a coffee.
Okay.
There's a Maxwell House.
Got it.
Coffee brand, which is inferior to the best part of waking up, which is me.
Yeah, that's right.
God damn it. Metal has the next question. But question, and this is Innes's fault because we've seen him do it basically multiple times to grand success now. When you're given a list to play or looking at a list, you might wonder how you will play against. What are the first things you look at? And it's basically like, what do you do when you first look at a list, get an idea of its strengths and weaknesses, to summarize this question?
I mean, like, the first fundamental thing that I try to ask when I look at any list is, what is the thing that this list is trying to be unfair about, right? What is this list trying to break parity with the rest of the game at being better at doing its thing? And then the rest of the plan usually kind of falls in place around like what that thing is, right? So is the army trying to be way too good at scoring that you can't stop it? Is it trying to be incredibly explosive damage output? Is it trying to be really high durability? What's the unfair thing this army's trying to do? And then how does it leverage that into scoring points? If it does that, then your plan for dealing with it is, how do I shut down the thing they're good at or go around it? Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. That's one of the reasons why stuff is broken, is because you can't shut down you can't stop it from doing its thing. Its thing is too consistent, or it's too good at too many things, right? This is very much leans into that, like the Sam Pope theory of the 3Ds that he was talking about last time, right? So it's like, what is the list trying to do that's really good at? What's it trying to do? And then for the same thing on the inverse is, what is this list not trying to be unfair at? What's it trying to avoid? What's it trying to sidestep having to play the game on, right? Is it an army that's got a really weak backfield? Is an army that's got terrible screens, right? Like all these kinds of things that give you a way to exploit it. And then you're looking for the overlaps of where your army's strengths interact with their weaknesses and where you can mitigate their strengths into your weaknesses, right? That's kind of what you're looking at. And that's a lot of how matchup and matrix theory comes in. It's obviously a lot more complicated than that, but that's like a baseline introduction to the things you're thinking about. Anyone else?
You're good?
I don't really think about it like that, but I don't really think about it that much in general, because I exist in my very narrow band of things that I play. I usually am like, what can this very specifically do to me? And that's the only way that I interpret lists.
Yeah, and that's Anthony looking at the strengths of the list as it pertains to his specific list,
right.
Weaknesses and strengths, right?
Yes. Aforementioned, how long has 10th been? Like, let's call it 36 months. See, aforementioned 32 months of me talking shit about Necrons. Like, Necrons too. I don't give a fuck about Necrons. Until, I care a lot about Necrons now. Please don't pair me to Necrons. Ouch. With my bones.
Okay.
Typhus has the next question, which is, when are you going to finally move to Poland?
Dude, they almost got Folger.
Yeah, dude. I'm one morning meeting away. Which,
you want to explain that to the people?
So, for context, every single day, my day starts with a morning meeting that's like, hoorah, let's be lions, not cubs, because I work in sales. And they really lean into that. And nothing butters my fucking biscuit more than that. So I'm just one of those away from just
one more story about the bison that go into the storm away from
a fucking pterodactyl, dude. Just like, oh, that'll be my 13th reason to move to Poland.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Folger is basically living that one scene from Glengarry.
Oh yeah, he's that every morning, dude. The fucking clinking brass balls, dude, is every day for him.
Always be closing. Always be closing.
It's the ABCs, baby.
Yep.
Be
As
a
Ben
lion
says,
of the
be a-
emperor.
Yeah.
Yeah. In a world of talons, be a lion, Folger.
Oh.
Whoa. Enough.
Yeah.
Been off work for 3 hours, please.
The next one is from Gene Steeler Paul, notably spelled like the Levi's. Dearest Folger, comma, I write to you lamenting my LGS meta.
God, I love where this is going.
We have a local terror in our small pond meta who runs 8 Malaris Terminators and 3 Grav Tanks. 1. Why is he like this? 2. What army archetype sinks this? Are your 2 questions for today.
Okay. To the first, I would say childhood trauma.
That's what I was gonna say.
My goodness, what a individual doing the Lord's work there. In terms of what sinks this, there's a couple of ways that Custodes will struggle. One of which, and particularly this version, is that they don't have mobility. So if you're turn 1, like their best outcome here is they hit 9-inch charges, right? And your goal should be to make sure that those 9-inch charges don't charge the things that kill Allura's Terminators. So, pull out that measuring stick, go 18.1, stand on your natural, and then they go up, down. They hit their 9. They're in front of your army. You kill them. I'd say stuff that can screen and stuff that can, put a hurt on one unit at a time because they're not getting you with multiple.
As you have damage 4?
Oh, you're so
Riptides?
Yeah, like what are we talking about? In terms of grav tanks, those are surprisingly smoke allergic. So if you ever have an opportunity to, like, most of the time they're going to spread 3 grav tanks. So if you can ever like shift your army pretty heavy to one side and then kill a grav tank, most of the time you're not getting shot back by 2, which means if you're, I don't know, a rhino equivalent smokes, you've got a decent chance to just live 1, and then you're fine, right? Like from there. So I would say limit the grav tanks by cutting angles and shifting sides, and don't give the Allurus free charges into your juicy units. And then play good 40k. Have fun.
Caladius do fucking hate a good defensive strat.
Dude,
just take your pick. A 4-up invul and a defensive strat.
Like literally any breakpoint that's not them all hitting, all wounding into 6-up saves. Like if you can just stop any amount of that, you will be fine.
Yeah, 2 of them can't even kill Saris.
It's fucking embarrassing.
that poor garbage can never saw it coming, dude.
All right. The next question is from Simon, oathing politely. What would Folger describe as the best part of waking up?
Probably the charge I hit against Team Poland A.
Yeah, dude, that was
I had one custodian guard squad hits in 2 turns. Hits the juke with the reactive to dodge the 500-point Calgar squad that's walking through my army and is totally fair and balanced. So we're out of the way. Then we banged the 10-inch charge into the 12 health Rep-X with 5 guys not on an objective, which then he AOCs, and we proceed to say, too bad for you, son. You haven't met Folger yet. And we hand him like 90% saves. And then he dies. And then we consolidate back onto his home field, which takes that. Then we proceed to get charged by G-Man, who we interrupt. And once again, one banged, kapow, clipped off the first life. He stands up just to get beat again by the same custodian guard squad. So
just 5 men, dude. Just taking it down.
Just 5 men versus 600 points of Ultramarines and 15 primary swing. That's the best part of waking up.
Lore accurate Custodes.
Couldn't have happened to a nicer guy as well.
That's still got nothing on the morning meeting.
No, that's the worst part of waking up.
Folger's trying to get in on the noon shift to avoid the morning meetings, dude.
Dude, every day that I have a client early is a good day.
Yeah.
Such a good day.
If you want, we could just have a rotation of people from the Stat Check Discord call your job and schedule a meeting with you during the morning meeting every day.
That'd be great.
How many days do you think you could get away with that before they caught on that it was like...
I think you should offer that as like...
Probably like a week, maybe.
You think so?
Yeah.
I think we could do that as like a business plan to like help people dodge like morning stand-ups and keg conferences and stuff like that. Right? Like, we will schedule a meet with you for any time of day. You just have to book it in advance.
Yeah.
It's $10.
Yeah. There you go.
Nailed it.
All right. The next questions are from Andy. The first one is, what's Custodes' role in the current teams meta?
Ooh, cool question. So right now, it's twofold. So one of which, you can use Custodes as they don't lose games except for one specific game, which is, I don't know which way I should be pointing, but the Necron's main somewhere. It's that one.
It's real bad. Sorry, Pumbaa.
Terrible. Outside of that, if you just commit to playing to the triangle, which is your natural, your home in the middle, your floor is like an 8. So like you can just accept whatever you want. But most of the time, what we did for the little Team USA action is we early defended me because once again, your floor is so high that, you know, you're accepting something on your board choice, which is normally like worst case a 10. But if at any point during those games they stumble or don't come correct, you put your foot on the gas and your forehead through their forehead and you blow their back out and you put it on them. And that's kind of how it works. You play like a normal game, and then one thing goes against your opponent because you're so consistent of holding your natural and locking that down that, you know, your 10 turns into an 18 in one turn. That's how we kind of played them.
Nice. How do you decide when to have your go turn, and why is it always turn 2?
Well, I would answer that 2 ways. One of which, go turn is normally dependent on the tempo of the game, or as I would like to call it, if I sense weakness. If you
gets the soul read, dude. If he sees fear,
if I sense fear. For example, there's a stream on, I think Contact Lost was the ones who streamed Pyra, where a very nice Frenchman made the mistake of shooting a Land Raider for 2 turns with like a bunch of stuff and did 1 total damage, where I immediately said, he doesn't got it like that, dude. He's just not going to kill me. So then we sent our whole army at him, right? And it's kind of like when I was referring to, if you don't come correct or if you stumble at all, most of the time, if they stumble or mess something up or there's a swing in any way that goes your way, you should immediately send it after that and just completely blow the game open. Most of the time, especially with 3 Land Raiders, 6 units of guard, no one is answering that after it hits you at any pace that's going to have a bad score for you. Like, even if it goes wrong, you just fail every save, they make a bunch, you're going to be favored. You're going to get in the small win range as soon as, like,
you're still on all the objectives behind.
You're still on all the objectives while you're dying, right? Exactly. And by that time, who cares? It's Pickles.
She doesn't really know stuff. It took her a while to get up here.
That's okay.
The next one is, well, Pickles has one of the 2 brain cells that Fortress Cat has.
She's playing down a player, you know. She's doing her best.
And then the last question from Andy is a food question. What's the best food you've eaten during a 40K tournament / event? And this is open to the floor, though. So,
well, I mean, I would say that if we count that, I would say Elixir in Poland was the best I've ever had. But if we're saying during an event, I would say there was a super scuffed day of day 1 LVO this year, or I guess last year for me. I had like a crazy flight mishap where I got screwed and then had to
land in the morning.
Yeah. So I had to get to the airport at like 2 a.m. for a 4 a.m. flight that landed me there at 7:30, where I went straight to the venue to play round 1. And then that lunch of terrible hot dogs was maybe the best food I've had in a while. So I would say food with context is always better. Those hot dogs were delicious.
Yeah, very fair.
It's true. All right. Next questions are from Matthew Payne Engine Aficionado. For everyone, I just captained a team of 5 for an event this past weekend. I've never done pairings for 5s before, and it felt like I had some control over my first attacker and defender, but after that, it felt kind of out of my hands. Is that just the nature of 5s, or is there something I'm missing when it comes to pairing strategy for that style of teams?
When we went
just fives.
When we went to Vegas teams, I did not fill out a matrix after our second round because I was the first defender, and it didn't matter.
Yeah, 5s is
basically just like
2 things.
We're gonna try to dodge these 2 bad matchups. One of them's defending, one of them's attacking. We're not taking the bad matchup. Those 2 are the only bad ones. Like that's what you're filling out a matrix to try to get the information on in 5s.
Yeah,
because it's a shit show.
Yep, and you have like 2 people to first defend, but most of the time it'll just be your main first defender, and then that guy over somewhere, and then your scrum, quote unquote, after one pairing is just make sure you don't get the red, and that's it.
Yep,
that's it.
Defend with the guy with the red, and then you'll be all right.
Yep, exactly.
Still me. It's me. Every part of that was right here.
You're gonna second defend and first defend on it. That's impressive.
Yeah.
There you go. And then for Folger, does the density of WTC terrain impact the triple land raider list to the point that you would consider a different build in the future, or is moving them around the board still generally fine?
Look, one could be forgiven for thinking that having 3 6-inch wide vehicles might be a problem on WTC. You would be wrong, but one could see how you might think that.
Yeah, basically, out of every layout, except for I think like Hammer Anvil has a couple ones, but like you're good on like 5 or 6 of the boards that are like 2 maps are good for you and you're pretty free. The other like mid 4 maps are like they're okay, you can play on them and function, and then 2 are a little scuffed. So as long as you're not like getting those 1 or 2 boards, you don't care. And the flip side is that when you do get your boards, and the illusion of the list is that the land raiders matter. It would be a good way to put this. Those are just oversized rhinos, and then you're still playing 30 custodian guard on a dense board, right? And if you think about it like that, that's good. WTC, very good.
The land raiders are going to get halfway up, pressed to the edge of a ruin as far as they can, firing some lance cannons and drawing some attention while towing an objective. And the custodian guard are going to walk to your home objective. You just need to not worry too much about it.
Yeah.
Right. Grant asks, how do you like your eggs, Folger?
I was warned this would come up. I've prepared an answer for it. I would say I have 2 options. One of which I would say scrambled with cheese and a meat of some kind, whether that's like ham or bacon mixed in. Those are quite good. And I love a good dry piece of toast with some sunny side up with some like hot sauce for a little sandwich type thing.
Nice.
Yeah. Dude, whatever eggs I had at that fucking breakfast place we went to is my new favorite way to eat eggs. I could not tell you what I had or what it was. Holy fucking moly, that was amazing.
Yeah, they had some like I don't know if it was sour cream or a cream of some kind mixed
with like potato and something.
Yep.
It was wild.
Nice. All right. Next up is from Nate. I'm taking over the local RTT organization and will be stepping in as the ringer. I'm using this as an excuse to start a new army. What's the army that's most fun to play against if you were a less experienced player? Orcs are a given, but what else?
I would say Tyranids. Every time I play Tyranids, I feel like I am killing them and interacting.
Yeah, I think CSM is also a good shot for here because you get to kill yourself, and your opponent will always feel good about that when you're filling Dark Pacts. There's just that little rush of joy whenever your opponent fails a Dark Pact, right? Like we all get it, right?
There's also enough data sheets in a CSM army that you can build a list that's gentle for your opponent.
Yes, 100%. Easily. You can also generally build a list that's gentle for your opponent but plays well enough to give someone a good game if they want it.
You can get very combined armsy with CSM, which is like
that's what you want. You want like a balance.
You can also just like do Marines for familiarity for people. People will know what it does.
Also, if you're only playing it occasionally, the Marines will be easier to play because their data sheets are relatively straightforward.
Yeah.
All right. Sir Beetle has the next question, which is, the new 30K Custodes models are so much better than the old ones, in my opinion. Will you replace all your Guarded Wardens? Do you like the new sculpt?
We were just talking about this in Poland.
So I'm torn. The new models are probably cooler. They're a lot more designed, but I don't want to redo with a commission painter because I don't paint well at all of my stuff. And I've got a little bit of sentimentality on my models. They're good boys. They roll well. And I feel like changing them up, that might mix up my mojo. So I'm of the opinion I'm currently not going to change them. However, I may make some bad financial decisions and just own 2 Custodes armies, one of which painted how I have them right now, which is Shadowkeepers, which is my favorite like sub-faction. And the second, which Anthony and I have talked about because we got lost in Game of Thrones lore, which is like Kingsguard from Game of Thrones.
Which would look fucking sick.
Looks so cool. So that's where I'm currently at. Maybe I'll end up with 2 armies. I've already talked to a friend about buying, like going halvesies on like 6 boxes of the new stuff because he needs some stuff out of it. And then I'm going to end up with like 6 dreadnoughts that I need just to own full faction. So who knows? Maybe I'll have 2 Custodes armies in the future.
Look, and then you can play the other one until it's as well seasoned as your old army.
That's true.
I mean, it's not going to be well seasoned, dude. Those cloaks are white, untouched, pristine.
Unblemished. That's the idea.
There you go.
All right, we really got to start working through these. We have like 20 questions.
We have a bunch, yeah. Moose Wars next. When you find yourself getting stagnant in your growth as a 40K player, how do you get past that moment and get back on track for growth?
In the same way that prison works, find the biggest guy and have him beat you up a bunch until you start figuring it out. That's what I probably lost my first 30 games of 40K because I was just my best friend who got me into it was just like the best player in our local area, so just got blasted. And then I finally started beating him, and then I started going to bigger events, getting blasted in like round 4 and 5, and then eventually you get past that. So just play more games against people that are better than you are.
There you go. Right. Beginner Sam has the next set of questions, which is, it seems like some players start out 2 or 3 or 3 and 2 right away at tournaments. For everyone, have you ever had a losing record at a tournament? And then the second question is, how do we help our bottom table friends level up?
I don't think I've ever had a losing record. Like the Cherokee that I talk about as being like this disastrous, terrible, like awful experience. 2, right? I went 4-2 and got like 23rd of 280 or something. Like it was fine. One of my wins was a guy that got in the top 8. Like it, whatever. Yeah, no, I don't think I've ever gone negative.
When 8 Dead dropped, we were in a flyer metagame, and Innes, who had like been to a WTC at this point, did not get that memo and played pure combat nids. And played against,
John has a story like this.
Played against 4 flyer armies and 1 orc army that crushed him and went 1-1-3 at his first event of 8th edition at a major level event.
Rough.
Yeah, my first event went 2 and 3. It happened. Like that's
My last War Masters, I lost my first day of games, and then me and Seth decided that we were going to go explore the city.
That's hilarious. Oh wait, I'm a total liar. Sorry, I just blanked my first 2 events because they were before COVID. I went negative at both my first 2 events. I won 1 game in both of them, and that was it. I went 1-2, and I went 1-1-1 in my first RTT, and I went 1-3-1, and I got a draw in both of these somehow. Old ITC format, woo! And yeah, that's both my first 2 events I went negative. I forgot that I played Chaos Knights and 3 Discos like a dummy.
And my very first game of 40K, which was at an RTT. I'd never played 40K or rolled dice at all. And I went to an RTT to play my very first game of 9th edition or 8th edition 40K. And it was like, awesome. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I won a single game, and that was it for my RTT. I went 1-2.
Yeah, my first RTT game was my 3rd 2K game.
Yep.
My first RTT game was 1250 points. I played against possibly the most broken combination of things you could ever play against. I nailed it in about 30 minutes. We swapped armies and did it again. I played against a guy who was playing an Imperial Guard Stormlord, the one with like the 40 shots thing. This was in 2nd edition. He allied in 2 squads of 3 Devastator Centurions that you put in the back that could firing deck out the back of it. And then he had a Librarian behind it making it invisible, so I couldn't shoot it.
Yeah. Woohoo!
On that note,
broke me as a person fundamentally, and now
and since then, Innes has decided that he's going to break other people.
Hurt people, dude.
It's true.
Me and my grenades could not handle that.
The next question's from Simon, oathing politely, which is, Folger, how many 40mm bases do you think you could fit in your mouth?
Oh, he's competitive. This is going to be a number that will cause him damage.
We don't need you to do it right now.
Oh, no, he's going to check, dude. You fucked up. I saw this question and was like, Folger's going to try.
I don't know if I have any 40 mils near me right
Just loose.
He's going to just pop one off a custodian and be like, good enough.
I don't know about all that.
That's how you learn how your basing tastes.
Yeah.
So, assuming there's no model on them, I would go with, if it's just the normal base.
Normal base, no basing material.
No basing material, stack them correctly, 23.
There you go.
There's my answer.
We're going to come to collect at WTC this year, so I'm going to make you try.
And then Gorthouse Onslaught has a question. Folger, as a car salesman playing Custodes, when you put your army case down on the table, do you make sure to slap the lid and say, this bad boy can fit so much golden gunch in it?
I have not. I will be doing that in the future. I'm going to get one of those little, like the miniature, wacky inflatable.
Make a display board. That's a car dealership.
That's just a car dealership with Land Raiders. I think that'd be pretty.
It should be. It should be coming out the back of two Land Raider like little
STL to have a little hole in the back of the Land Raider to put the little.
And then the second question is, memes aside, keep crushing it, dude. Sad I won't see you at WTC this year as I stay home. That's not a question, but I'll continue. Rickard has two questions. Hello, Folger. Thank you for taking the time to be on the podcast. What do you feel is a Custodes data sheet that people aren't paying enough attention to and should try out? I think the
Inquisitor, apparently.
The Inquisitor is a good answer to that. Yeah, the generic Inquisitor slams. Try putting them with just like a 4-man guard squad. That unit is 205 points of way too much stuff. Have fun.
And then even I won't attempt to find secret sauce in Orc Champions. How would you propose fixing the detachment?
I bet you money. He doesn't even know what it does.
It's jokes on you, Anthony. So I played my first game at an RTT with the Codex. I had given up all hope after going from Index to Codex. Okay. So I played a challenge to myself, which was every single model had to have the character keyword. So I was playing Canis Rex, 3 on-foot blade champs, Trajan Valoris, Valyrian, like 3 bike captains on Dawn Eagle jet bike. Like it was every single thing was character because I was like, this detachment's going to work. It didn't. It did enough. I went like 2-1, right? Like it was fine.
Okay.
It kind of worked. I think they've changed it since I first played it.
It's not character unit, I'm pretty
sure. Which doesn't change anything for that list.
So that list didn't change anything. So it's kind of cool that you get +1 to wounds. The problem is that when you compare that to any of the other ones, it doesn't shape up well. What I might change a bit is if you had some more like gusto on your buff, like if it gave you an AP buff or something, just to like really make your oath feel oathy, like that thing is dead. Like +1 to wound doesn't really do it.
Half of Ultramarines oath against 1 target.
That's
for character unit only,
and then you can 2 CP to bounce it, which is like not great.
Too many steps.
It's too many. I like the full reroll. The full reroll like on Trajan's Moment Shackle. That's sick. That's a lot of fun. If you're going to be playing that detachment, I would lean into the characters and get a little memey with it, like I've done. If I were to fix it, I would give it real strats, delete the detachment, and make it Stormlance. Just give me Ultras rules, please.
So say we all.
Nick K says, going to Pyra for the first time in April. Any general advice for going that far to an event in terms of travel, how to pack, the name of the soup, etc.?
The name of the soup is Zurich.
Yes. In terms of traveling far for events, it's kind of a bell curve of like how good it gets. In terms of like you do it more often, you get used to it, you pick up some like personal things. I'm not going to pretend to be a travel expert by any means. I got my passport for 40K, which was, you know, hoorah.
We heard John's stories with the trains.
Oh, dude, don't get me started on the trains. Oh my God, I had forgotten about that.
Let's not do that one today.
Folger's the only 40K player that's bad.
We'll have Folger on again to talk about trains specifically.
I'm like the reverse 40K player, dude. I really hate trains. Like, I'm not a fan. But just enjoy the travel and take an extra day on the back end, at least, would be my tentative advice.
Yeah.
And
traveling should be done after the event, for what it's worth. Before the event, you're stressed about the event, or at least I am. But after,
get one of the carrying cases that fits
card that like will let you pay in the local currency, so you don't pay currency conversion fees. Remember to bring an adapter for everything that you want to use when you're over there. You don't want to have to buy shit when you're here,
or just borrow from someone.
Yeah. The other one is just if you can bring your army in the cabin with you, do it. Just buy a carrying case that you can bring in the cabin.
Oh yeah, there
are several cabin-shaped army cases from multiple different vendors.
And there's some that you can get that'll fit under the seat in front of you, so you can really, finagle it a little bit. Try to invest in one of those cases. It will save you lots of heartache.
Yep. Every single time someone's ever checked an army, I'm sure every WTC there's a heartbreak story for someone. The number of times I've lost my clothes for WTCs and stuff like that, and just been like, well, at least I have my army and I can play the tournament.
Yeah.
It is a
wallet,
lot faster
passport,
to buy
phone,
clothes.
army. Those are the 4 things you need. Everything else could be replaced.
Yeah. Yep. Literally, when we were getting to leave both Pyra and the hotel, I think me and Folger said the same thing. We were like, all right, wallet, phone, models, anything else I could buy. Off we go. Like,
Alex R has the next question. I'm building my Emperor's Children army and need to settle on a list to start out with. Should I just go with the standard triple prince list? Or does Lucius plus Flawless Blade replacing one of the princes have a lot of merit too? Playing on UKTC terrain for what it's worth.
Princes,
Noise Marines, Infractors and Lords Exaltants, Rhinos.
Until the meta changes, have a plan for the meta we exist in. Simon has another question, I think politely. With Pyra in the rearview mirror, how do you feel about the composition that the USA brought? Are there any lists you guys wish you would have tweaked in retrospect?
I was happy with everything we took. I think for the first time in quite some time, we just took the things that were good. We didn't fuck around with it too much. We took experienced pilots on strong armies and executed well. Which sounds like the most, you gotta score points to win the game shit you've probably ever heard in your life. And it is a terrifying proposition if you told every captain they just had to do that with their rosters. They would lose a third of their team every time. But we just did that, and it worked really well.
Yep.
Guys, please stop reinventing the fucking wheel and just play the good armies is a strong and difficult thing to say.
It's something that we did not do particularly well at last WTC, and I feel like we've had a focus on this year of let's not overcomplicate it. Just play good 40K.
Use the good shit, put it in the right places. If your army's not very good that round, into the trenches you go, King.
Yep.
Eric Coltis-Chen has the 2 questions. First is, which player other than Innis went 7-0 at the Manchester GT this year? That would be David Gaylord. I'm glad that we've returned to this memory.
Nice.
Of making sure that there's a question about making us say David episode. Gaylord. Yeah. And then what do you generally think about the win rate of a more skilled competitive player versus a less skilled one? For example, someone who wins RTTs and small GTs versus someone who regularly top 4s super majors.
That exact example is going to be 95% or something like that. Yeah. That sounds crazy, but I'm trying not to exaggerate.
Yeah, so
you're not far off.
There's some plateaus and some gaps in 40K. Like the person that wins the RTT will lose, like Anthony said, probably 95% of games to the GT winner, who will lose 95% of games to the WTC super major winner type thing.
Yep.
Richard has the next question, which is what items go on the 11th edition bingo card? I think the free space is the one we should.
Less lethal.
Less lethal will be in the free space in the
less
middle.
lethal, less rerolls. Simplified, not simple. All the buzzwords.
If they say simplified, not simple, I'm going to put my head through one of these monitors.
Anthony, hold on to that anger for the last question we're going to take tonight. Just hold on to it.
No.
Crispy has the next question. First of all, congratulations to Folger and Anthony for the great result. Do you think Team USA closes the gap between you and France, or do you think they can still be the favorite this year?
I think we got a lot closer. France obviously did not play with as many veterans as we did. So I'm not going to be like, dude, Pyra is gospel. We're the best team ever. But I do think with each year, the American team and scene claws out a larger portion of our ability to be a good teams nation. It is a blood, sweat, and tears struggle from myself a lot of the time to get us ever closer. But, you know, I think this is probably one of the better shots we've ever had.
You're doing a good job, guys.
We're trying. We're trying real hard.
Yeah.
And the increase in, you know, buy-in from the community helps a lot in this space, right? There's more team circuits in the US. There's more teams kind of in general. People are more fired up about teams. The more the better singles players join Team USA and play teams, the more burned out on singles I can get them to be. And slowly but surely over time, I convert them. But yeah, in general, I think that we're in a much better spot, I would say, going into this year than we were last year. Obviously last year as well, John did a great job, but it was also his first year as captain, and that comes with it growing pains. This is going to be more of a refining year than a redefining year. So hopefully that all contributes to us closing the gap on the back-to-back champs.
Putting them down.
If France goes 3 for 3, I'm also retiring. I can either get my own back-to-back, but if they get a triple, I'm out, dude.
It's bad news. It's bad news.
Gregorius, the next question, which is, first it says, I guess this is a question for Innes. Why is it so hard for players to do well with Space Marines?
Fuck if I know, dude.
Look, Space Marines is an army that gives you a ton of ways to write a bad list. And I know that that's like a really easy thing to say, but it's so easy for someone to take a good list and be like, yeah, but I just fucking love Hellblasters. And they take out like one core component of the list and like fucking 200 points of change won't change it. And then it does, because of course it does, right? Everything, like Space Marines is a weird ecosystem of fundamentally solving the problem of how do I kill the thing that's not the oath target is a lot of the challenge of Space Marines. And when you start fucking with the formula, it gets real easy for that not to be a thing your army's capable of doing, or not having the right defensive profiles or offensive profiles for the wider metagame, because you've taken out a thing that mattered for a thing that is bad. Or Space Marines are just not that durable. I don't want to say they're fragile, because a 3-up armor save is a good profile, right? It's not like Space Marines fall over to a stiff breeze. But if you just try to stand your Space Marines in front of your opponent's army, you're going to die real hard.
Yeah, you have to use the 47 reactive moves you've been given, or you will die.
Yeah, or like range band people, or teleport the fuck about, or like, you know, whatever the fucking order of the Space Marine faction you're playing's day is, right? Like Space Wolves staple infinite storm shields to their models and are like, we have a 4 vulnerable save. We are significantly better at this than regular guys.
But to the point about list writing, if you don't take the fucking storm shields because you wanted the frag launcher or whatever,
exactly,
it gets bad pretty fast.
So the inherent fragility of everything being built to kind of kill a Space Marine, right? Like we judge everything by like how quickly does it, like, can it kill 5 scouts on the expansion objective is the first question I ask for a lot of skirmish units. It's like, if it doesn't deal with 5 scouts, why the fuck am I playing with it, right? Like, it's a lot of the inherent challenge of playing a chaff unit, and you get a lot of these same questions. They're also, because they're so forefront of the metagame, everybody is always considering Space Marines when they build their lists. So it just like, it sands the edges off of a weaker player who comes into it. You're playing against somebody who is a little better than you or about as skilled as you, but they've probably played the matchup before, and you might not have, and that contributes a lot to that as well. Now, at the top ends of the metagame, that matters a lot less, because Space Marines are an army that incredibly well rewards mastery for the same reason, right? Like, they are to some degrees fragile, but they also give you incredibly explosive damage output. They have all of the tools you could possibly ever ask for, right? There's nothing you can't have access to in Space Marines. It's not always costed the most efficiently, but if you want the tool enough to need to bring it, it's there for you to use. There is nothing you can't really have in Space Marines. What that means is if you get the metagame read right, Space Marines will almost always reward you very strongly, which is an army that rewards people who are very committed to the faction. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, but it is a challenging thing for the most popular faction to be.
All right. And then Isaac asks a question of, assuming that Catan and Sint are gone, is Rage Curse Onslaught worth taking?
Sure. That would help a lot.
Maybe, like, yeah, I guess. I mean, you'd have to have a full meta shift where, like, melee pressure works, is a good way to describe it.
It's definitely the closest melee pressure list to working now.
I don't even feel that way, dude. Like,
yeah, I don't know. I think
you get dogged by Sint, Satan, Custodes, Ultras,
Tau on their board choices.
Tau.
Right?
I mean, if we're assuming a singles environment, I'm less worried about the board choice Tau game.
But like, still, Tau ain't free. Like,
Tau ain't free, no.
Tau can go wrong. What else is like predominantly good? Maybe. I mean, it would help. It would make nothing else. It lets you think about it. Right now, you are actively trolling if you're trying to play like World Eaters or Rage Cursed Onslaught. Like they are just never getting over the line against big stuff.
Any of the gunless armies just get fucking crushed right now. It's just not. You can't not have 2 phases of damage.
You're probably like looking at exactly Bastion can just about get there for Templars.
They have a Repex though, right? Like even then, that's.
It's not no guns, but it is close to no guns as you're going to get, right?
Yeah.
I think, honestly, the closest to the actual 0 guns is like the French pirate list, right? The CSM list.
CSM one, yeah.
And
like that can still clear a fucking screen with Chosen.
Yeah. That's not really why having no guns is bad, but yeah.
All right. Next question is from Ritz, indirectly asking, any tips from the gang on using reactive moves? I know they can be powerful, but when I do them, I always feel like I've wasted a CP.
I would say set them up on your turn. Be cognizant of where and what you can reactive move away from and into. So, if you need to be exactly within 9 inches of your Land Raider, for example, make sure you are. And then it's, you've established with your opponent your intent of where you can reactive move to. It's fine for them to have all the information. Reactive moves aren't supposed to be gotchas. They're just supposed to be a tool that makes it harder for your opponent to interact with you. So be cognizantly thinking of what to do with them would be my advice.
Use them to like minimally poke objectives. I'm going to put this one guy in the middle objective. If you want to walk within 9 of it to do any action, I'm getting my guy back behind the wall, right? Anything like that. Just set up fail states. If you want to cut this, put it so you're like, these guys here are standing on this line here, so that if you move in on this line to see my Vindicator, they can react to move back behind the wall. So you have to choose between them and my Vindicator, right? Shit like that is what you're looking for. Play the angles, play the tight lines, do your best to like force your opponent into choosing between 2 choices, both of which you're happy with, and then you'll never use the reactive move in a situation where you're not happy with it, because your opponent will either have not given you the reactive move, therefore not done something else, or they will give you the reactive move, letting you use the unit. Now, if you're going for situations of like, I just got to roll a 4 up to get them behind the wall, consider just not using the reactive move. Try to like use the threat of it to make your opponent not do something, and then if they call your bluff, you don't have to use the reactive move there. You're just like, well, you call my bluff, I'm not going to do it anyway.
To that end, flat reactive moves are much better for this reason.
Yes.
Yeah. Nothing worse than a 2-up reactive move to get back behind the wall and rolling a 1. But
I think that's the best, but I get it why other people might be upset
The
about
worst, dude. The worst.
You know what I
your Nightbringer needed to roll a 2-up to be able to clear their screen when they got shot in Star Shatter, and he rolled a 1, Anthony.
You know what I used just like, now that I'm thinking about it, almost never all weekend was the Star Shatter reactive.
That's so crazy.
It just,
right.
It just,
Fair enough.
What am I going to do? Go more forward into the thing I was already charging? Like, it's not a blood surge.
It's advancing charge, bro.
If you, real like.
If you squint real hard.
Yeah.
All right. Red Rum, thank you for the €2 super chat. How does Folger like the new Eldar stuff?
He doesn't.
Vibe-wise, love it. I mean, you're not wrong. Let's be honest, guys.
It's like watching a card review and they're like, great art, and then they go to the next card.
Yeah, it's like, man, this looks super, super cool. I can't wait for it to sit on my shelf after I get it commission painted.
Yeah.
Next.
Next question's from Carl, which is playing force against middle versus opponent's expansion. How does one decide?
That's a list building decision almost always. Like you kind of build an army that's like aggressively attacking their natural, or you're playing the triangle. And you're just leaving theirs alone. You're playing a close game.
Yep.
Okay.
If you're really good at scoring secondaries, you can probably afford to play the middle a lot more. If you're not so good at scoring secondaries, you probably need to hit your opponent's primary just as like a
little
easy
bit.
start.
Yeah.
You got to do something to get their points down, right? And it's either killing all their units or taking them off their expansion objective. You got to pick one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Next question is from Josh, which is what's more important for team accuracy, knowing how good or how bad a matchup is for you?
Bad. Not even close. It's not even a little debatably close. Worse, actually, is knowing how volatile a matchup is and knowing what it means to lose the volatile matchup. Not that I have any recent issues with this or anything, but perhaps you could save yourself a lot of headache if you knew what the downside of the swingy matchup looked like well.
And then the last question is not really a question, but I think it's funny, so we're going to treat it like one, is from Kelrain. Hey, Anthony, use this slot to rant about twin lances.
Okay. This is going to be less explosive than the person who asked this question wanted it to be. Because we don't have points. So if this unit comes out and it's fucking 280 points, maybe it's fine. If it comes out and it's fucking 140, riots in the streets, right? Where in between those two things it falls, we'll see. They fucked up, obviously, right? There's no need to beat around the bush with this. The rule printed on the bottom of that thing's data sheet, way too good. It shoots too much. It has too many things going for it. A base BS2 thing that can spot for Tau, quite powerful as well. There's just a couple too many things going for this unit, right? Much in the way that when Satan were buffed, they were buffed in a couple too many ways. Much like when they printed a data sheet for NIDS, it was bad in too many different ways to keep up with the faction identity.
Oh man, I forgot that guy came out.
They did the same thing here. And it's just too much shit. And hopefully, by the time it gets to the point that people are actually playing with it, that fucking rule requires them to have been in combat or something, right? Until then, yeah, it's broken on its face. Hopefully it doesn't release that way properly.
Or it's so many points it doesn't matter.
Or it's, I mean, so many points it doesn't matter, it doesn't exist. If they don't change what that does, it could be 400 points and you would still run it.
Yeah, it's quite
It's
good.
bad design, right? Like it's too expensive to justify running because it makes the army unplayable, or it's in every list. Those are the only two.
Yeah, I mean, it just like, it fights good, it moves way too good, it shoots too good, it spots for free, it's too durable. What are we doing? Like, every Tau list is now, whatever the points cost minus 2,000 is what you're playing with.
Yeah,
like,
is what you get.
There's just no way you don't play it.
Right.
Yep.
It's like got the same problem that Amintar has, which is that it's got an unnecessary number of rules, except cranked to 12 because they gave it movement shenanigans it just doesn't need.
It's just a catastrophic design failure. To call a spade, right? They just fucked up.
A lot of their units that have come out in recent things have just had too many datasheet rules, right?
There's just too much going on.
Too many rules. Like if you took a whole, like the Battle Shock rule off of that unit, it's still amazing because of the movement shenanigans it can do, right?
I forgot it even had that. I was thinking.
Oh, yeah, just in case you're like, at the end of your charge phase, take a Battle Shock on the unit in the middle. Yeah.
Move again, and something else.
If you made it so it only moved if it was like reliably eligible to fight, still an amazing unit. You'd still take it if it costs 300 points, 400 points. You'd still take it.
Yeah.
The problem is that datasheet needs like a full rewrite to be anything other than just wackadoo nonsense.
I think Folger's cat can put up a positive win rate with a list with twin lances in it.
Dude, probably, dude. Like, I don't know. It's insane.
Yeah.
It probably just needs, if we're being real, that movement text.
Just deleted.
Just delete.
Our bad.
A good data sheet. Like that's what's crazy. Like you take away the most broken best rule and you'd still play it.
It also scouts for God knows what reason. They just randomly snuck Scouts 8 onto it.
Yeah.
So it can scout up 8, 12-inch battle shock a unit you try to do area denial with turn 1. And that just be like, what are you going to do? You going to
from out of line of sight and then go into the objective.
Yeah, from out of line of sight.
I'm going to be honest. I was genuinely surprised they didn't have some form of loan op.
They could have loaned up to each other by themselves. Just the two models. They would have written it if you're within 3 inches of another model, and it would have been the two suits.
Just
a loan up. Woohoo!
Yeah.
And then the last question, now that we've talked about that, is from Occult Snack 2025. Thank you for the 2 Australian super chat. Are the Rending Claws better than every other? Bad? Question mark.
We'll do all the other 2 new data sheets next week because we had Folger on this week, and I do have some thoughts on the Turtle Prime that I think would be interesting to share, but I don't think the Turtle Prime is terrible. It's going to be entirely contingent on points. Derek looks really solid. The Turtle Prime looks fine, but incredibly boring is probably the easiest way to describe it. It looks like a Turtle data sheet, which is to say, if it's really cheap, you will probably play 3 of them. I can't imagine like lower 60 points, but if they're 80, they're going to be unplayable, right? Like it's just boring.
I just think your second $2 Australian super chat is meant to make me upset. Which is that the Twin Lance will cost 160 because it's 2 commanders.
Actually, that's Twin Lace, so that could be anything.
If that unit is
Twin Lace,
I'm not joking. If that unit comes out at 160 and is like legal for play at the 2-day event I'm planning to run in like 3 weeks, I am going to ban it. Or cut a rule from it or something. I'm not letting that go. Yeah.
Somebody told me that it should cost 160 points, and I looked at it and I was like, you know what? I'll cancel my plans for any GTs between now and Ottawa. That's easy peasy for me to just step away from 40k and paint for a while.
I think that's what Paul Grundy said it should be on his episode where he reviewed it. It was like, well, it's about as good as 2 Cold Star Commanders. So it should be.
Yeah, that's genuinely insane. If
they hit the gym and took
if they're less than 220, they're not seeing the light of day at the 2-day event I run.
Honestly, it's way easy to ban 1 data sheet, folks.
What I will say is
we haven't seen a Catan ban.
Euro trash. So
yeah.
Look, all these values are not the true points cost that it should be, which is 300. Sorry, folks. It should be 300 points.
It has to have rules change. The point cost is fake. They can't do this.
True.
There are some things you cannot fix with points. Satan is one of them. The Twin Lances are the other.
Yes. All right. On that note, that is the last question. I'm going to do these Cult of the High Five call-outs real fast, and then Folger, if you want to plug something while I grab that, please.
Content you've done recently, stuff you're on, things you do. Go nuts.
Yeah. Check me out on the Custodes podcast tour that I'm currently doing. Watch some Custodes content. I'm the most okayest, interesting man in the world when it comes to this. I try to be cool. I do coaching. If you want to learn how to roll 4-ups, hit me up. I'm pretty good at that. You can just DM me directly on the Stat Check Discord if you have it there, since this is Stat Check, or at all. I have an email. You can reach me there. It's folgerpyles@gmail.com. Just hit me up. There's your plug. I'd like to plug the Inquisitor as well for God's perfect 55-point creation. There you go. Please enjoy.
I love that. Oh, they're going to sell out tomorrow is what's going to happen.
There's not a model that don't exist right now.
You just make one.
I have used an Inquisitor Greyfax because she's awesome and gives me Demon Hunter from... there you go.
Boom. Nailed it, dude.
Fucking banner usage for the first time ever on Stat Check. We're using the technology.
Technology is here. God. There you go.
All right.
Anyway,
again,
do your thing.
This is what happens at the end of every episode.
Get to it, Nathan.
I thank all of the people who join our $15 a month tier. You get thanked at the end of every episode, or when I forget, you get thanked twice in one episode because I hate myself or something. I don't know. All right. Thank you to Christopher. The Deceiver has written my current diet plan, and the Nightbringer is driving the struggle bus into the coughing baby Irvine. Thank you to Willow Weeks. Thank you to Dan F. Thank you to Luke Harridan's taking the subway McCarthy. Thank you to David Shrug-Emoji Clark. Thank you to Exhausted. Thank you to James H. Thank you to Colton, Dan F. Miller. Thank you to Fungus. Thank you to John, V8 Gang. That new night next to the other chassis gives off, don't talk to me or my son ever again. Thank you to Cam F. Dan Morton, Hug Emoji. Thank you to Lady Malice's Footstool. Thank you to Josiah Gattle. Thank you to Frankie. Thank you to Isaac. Tonight on Stat Check, Nathan continues to read silly Necron numbers. Slate is 1 week away, we promise, in parentheses. Anthony Vanilla said, just don't. Folger needs to give Ben his Land Raider back. Land Raiders, sorry, plural, back. And Innes is now my coworker on Goonhammer, Tirada. Thank you to... Maybe we just need new, even bigger Catan to save us from the older, smaller Catan. Thank you to Thomas, got a Polish guy to laughter pairings for Equation. Thank you to Steven, Zero Trick Pony, Ross, after they take my Necrons out back in the data slate. Thank you to Tom, GorgonCon, Submarine Services H. Thank you, Stat Check, for putting up with me. On a related note, in honor of Shield Captain Folger, a gimmick for the road just roll fours. How bad could it be? How hard could it be, rather? Thank you to Thanks, folks. Thank you to Floof. I knew I forgot to change something, Cox, and you forgot to change it again. You had a whole episode. Thank you to Come With Me on a Gucci Adventure trademarked. Thank you to Nerfed for crimes committed by better players. Thank you to John Garza.
That was a good one.
Thank you to Henry. African penguins are also known as jackass penguins because their squawk sounds like a donkey, the wizard.
Oh,
that is
amazing.
That is a great fact. I love it.
I'm not imagining them as Donkey from Shrek, but
yeah.
Thank you to Penny the Penguin. Will be very sad if Stat Check ends. Please do not make Penny the Penguin sad. This is your penguin fact. Thank you to Matthew, Pain Engine Aficionado. Thank you to Vivian. Bats are the primary pollinators for agave cacti. If you drink tequila, thank a bat. And that is all of them. Bat. Thank you, Bat. On that note, thank you, everybody. And thank you, Folger, for coming on our show. We appreciate you and everything that you've been a gem.
Yep. Thanks, guys.
Right, we'll have to get Spathel on next so we can have all three of the Sampopa likes on.
There you go, dude. Sampo 1.0, 2.0, and 3.0.
The fucking Thanos gauntlet of Sampopes, dude.
Collecting them.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for being with us. We hope you all enjoyed the show. Please do remember to do all the social things that we shouted out earlier. Nathan, say the thing.
Bye-bye.